All right. Should be just a second.
Uh-oh. We lost David.
No, I put him back
Okay.
in the green.
All right.
So we should be starting to stream right on now. Anyway, I wanted to welcome everybody here. We've got a few changes, I'm sure that you have noticed, but welcome. Tim and I are live on our new Sub Nation special access code. So we've got like some major exciting things coming up. So bear with us while we're getting all the changes and everything. Also, a huge shout out to our Helix Rock Radio side at rockradio.live, or download our app at both Android and the iOS Apple. It's great. You can listen to us on the go or look at our archives. Also, I'm going to welcome our YouTube live. We should have Twitter streaming live. We've got Facebook streaming live. So we pretty well can see everybody in the chat. If you have questions for our amazing guests, I'm going to tell you about here in a second. Put those all in all caps. So without further ado, I get to tell you, I'm so excited about this guest. And I was able to catch one of his shows, and I made my whole family watch it. I was like, you got to see this guy. He's so amazing. And then he responded back that he would come on the show. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. So let's enter into the world of the illusionist. David Merlin has been seen on America's Got Talent, so if he looks familiar, Comedy Central, Universal Studios, Late Night with David Letterman, Penn Teller, and countless others. David has performed for other corporate events, cruise lines, fundraisers, and television shows worldwide. He has spent decades honoring his craft, becoming one of the best illusionists, and I have to say that he is in the country. David's new show controls on the world of the mental abilities and those things that cannot be explained. That's like right up our alley, you know?
Yeah,
he combines
absolutely.
good, style, delusion, audience participation, comedy, magic, and he is funny. I've talked to him, and a few spooky effects into the complete package. I'll let him tell you, like, he did some really cool things on like designing with the Harry Potter for Universal Studios, and just some other really cool things about him. Not to mention, he got to see the Annabelle doll that I have been literally dying to see. So, Tim, do you want to introduce yourself, since I kind of just, took over there for a second before we bring Merlin on?
Tim Stressenreiter. I'm a longtime paranormal enthusiast, UFO witness, and I've just been following these podcasts for a couple of years now, and here I am on screen. How did this happen? I don't know.
I think it was always meant to happen. So I'm so used to seeing Tim working the backstage of it, but we're so excited that he's stepping out, and so this is great. This is great. I think that you found your place. So without further ado, oh, I think you did. You did. You're doing awesome. This is technically our second show, so I think that we're definitely hanging in there for our second show and getting everything down. So you're doing awesome. And yes, to everybody in the chat, we look forward to hearing your great questions and everything that's going on. I hope that you enjoy the show. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Mr. David Merlin to the stage. Hey, David. We're glad to have you.
Bonjour.
Yeah,
Bonjour.
I was bragging. I think you could probably hear me backstage. I said, "Oh man, I happened to catch one of your shows, which I told you about, and I made my whole family watch it. I was like, you guys have to see this guy. He's absolutely amazing."
He's
and
amazing.
I remember yeah. So we're so excited to hear. I know you probably, we wanted to get you out here before you disappeared on us, but please go ahead and brag about yourself a little further. I started to talk about the Harry Potter stuff because that's pretty exciting. But yeah, go ahead. Take it away.
Yeah, the Harry Potter thing came about when I was in San Diego, California. I was performing at the convention center there for the Acura car show. And this was in early 2000, so it's been a while. And so all the dealers from around the country were there, seeing the new products. And they always, have big acts and things like that. I mean, they spend a lot of money on those conventions like that. So after the convention, the producer that had hired me to come in, he asked me, he said, listen, I've got this thing coming up at Universal Studios in Hollywood in 3 weeks. And he goes, I'm kind of panicked. I don't know what to do. They're wanting me to help them pitch the idea of a theme park attraction. And he said, I think it might be right up your alley. And I said, well, what is it? And he said, it's going to be a theme park that is based around a boy wizard. And I'm like, okay. He said, and it's based on these books. And at the time, there was 3 books out, and I think the 4th was about to come out. And I said, what's the name of it? He said, Harry Potter. And I said, I've never heard of it. So when this was in 2000, so a lot of kids had already been reading the books. But I was clueless. I knew nothing about Harry Potter. So he says, can you help me out? And I said, well, I'm going to need to research this. I don't know anything about it. And he said, well, there's 3 books out. And I want to say, I can't remember if the 4th one, I think that was The Goblet of Fire. I think it was about to come out. I can't remember exactly. But he told me that Steven Spielberg had the rights to the movie at the time because he said they were going to be making movies. And
that's a big deal.
So Spielberg was going to be at this big presentation at Universal. So what happened was I had to go grab all the books that were out at the time. And I can't remember. I want to say it was the first 3 that was already out. Yeah. The Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, and Prisoner of Azkaban. I think it was those 3. And I had to quickly kind of skim through these books to try to grasp a little bit about what Harry Potter was.
I mean, these are not small, short books either. The Harry Potter books.
No.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had to do some really, jumping around because there was no way I was going to go through all these books. And then I got somebody to kind of explain a lot to me, kind of like Cliff Notes. So I had to put all these special effects together in 3 weeks to go with this presenter. They wanted to have a presenter to pitch it to Universal. I think it was Warner Brothers and DreamWorks were all there. And so I just had to put all these magical effects to happen around him because, of course, this guy's not a magician. He just wanted the things happening. He's kind of reading through a script and things would happen like with rain or things appearing or disappearing or things flying around the room. So I built all this extravagant stuff in 3 weeks. I was working like 16 hours a day for 3 weeks. I had another illusion builder in Las Vegas help me build a couple of props. So he had to, normally it takes him, 6 to 8 weeks to build something. So he's building something in 3 weeks and he has to, put other people off to jump on this project. So we were like all hands on deck to try to get this put together. So,
I mean, that's not a lot of time at all.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and then you get it put together, and then I think it was the day before I go to Universal Studios, and they took me to a prop warehouse where I could kind of pick out some different props, to arrange around this set that we were building. And we were on a sound stage. It was a small sound stage right next to the Terminator attraction at Universal. So I got to go through this prop house, and I was picking out all these things and things that I think that I had seen in movies, So I'm just getting anything that I could possibly kind of jumped out at me that I really liked. So we were able to get this set built and get all these illusions and special effects ready to go. And when it was time, I was kind of excited because, I'd always wanted to meet Spielberg. Well, he had to have an emergency surgery
Oh no.
right around that time, and I can't remember what it was. I can't remember if it was. I didn't know if. What do you call it? When something ruptures, is it your appendix? I don't know if it was that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it was, but I remember he couldn't make it, but he had all his, his people there. But so we did this presentation and went over really great. Of course, I wasn't able to film it because of non-disagreements and all that kind of stuff. We had to kind of stay quiet about it for a while. And years went by and nothing happened. And I thought, well, yeah, nothing's going to happen with that. And then now it's the biggest theme park in the world, in Hollywood and
I've
Orlando.
been there. Yes, I've been there to both of them. So I saw it. I mean, it's impressive. My son just loved running around in it. I mean, it is so wow. How did you do that all in 3 weeks' time? I mean, that's a great
to have things appearing and disappearing and flying, and we even got a real snow owl there. I mean,
oh wow!
So I didn't sleep very much, for 3 weeks, and I remember I was just so stressed out, because the pressure was on. I never had to do like that. I never had to do anything like that since. So, but it was a great experience to be able to do it and kind of be a part of that little history, even though,
I bet. How neat.
I mean, that's amazing.
It is.
And I've only met a couple of the people from the cast, and that was Tom, Draco Malfoy, and what was her name? The real weird one that liked Harry. Gosh, what was her name? I can't remember. She always went barefoot. I met her once.
It's never how you imagine. The characters always, isn't it?
I'm not sure I remember that one. It's been a minute since I've watched any Harry Potter movies.
My son loves them. He just bought. We've been on this DVD hunt, and so he
could see like the horses, these almost like corpse-looking horses. Nobody else could see them. She was blonde. I think she was from Ireland. She was only in a couple of the Harry, probably the last 3 Harry Potters, I think, 3 or 4.
Yeah, I don't remember that character, but I think I kind of dropped off after the 3rd movie.
But yeah, that was a lot of fun, and hadn't done anything like that since.
Well, you sounds like you've done other things since. I mean, do you want to talk about? I don't even know where to jump first. I mean, you were on America's Got Talent. That's impressive. Yeah. I mean, Penn and Teller, I saw those shows, and your levitation acts. So, how did you get into magic? Or I guess it's more than magic.
I got into magic kind of by accident. It was more like a friend of mine was into close-up magic, and I'm from a small town in Alabama. It's called Sylacauga. It's the Indian name, means buzzard roost. The actor Jim Nabors is from here. We have the whitest marble in the world mined right here in town. And this is the only place in history on Earth that a person's been struck by a meteorite.
I heard about that.
I know.
And isn't that where your alter ego was created?
Oh yeah.
You want to tell us a little bit about your alter ego?
Well, that happened also kind of by accident. America's Got Talent wanted me to actually create some kind of a character, something different for the show.
Okay.
And a lot of these TV shows, I will tell everybody, they are not as they appear. They are television shows, and they are to get you
right.
And sometimes when you think it's a real competition,
maybe not.
Maybe not all the time. A lot of this stuff is scripted, and the executive producers kind of script what they want to happen. They tell people like Simon Cowell, this is kind of what we want to do with this person, this person, this person. So it's not always as it appears. Television is an illusion. It's to get you to watch. These reality shows are not reality for the most part.
Right.
They are scripted. But anyway, they wanted me to come up with a character, and I had already invested in a couple of silicone masks at the time. And these things are very realistic looking. So I basically used one of these silicone masks and came up with a character called Psycho Jack, because they wanted the character to do really good and then do not so good. So I agreed to it. And I mean, I would have never done that as myself, because
Right.
well, if I'm masked, I can mess up masks. But, and I was always good at voices. I used to do a lot of impressions and things like that. So I could change my voice. I used to could do Beavis and Butthead and all those things. I'd even called in on radio shows, and people thought it was Mike Judd.
Can you do it, Phil? I'd love to hear it.
Huh?
Let's hear some Beavis.
Yeah, let's hear it. That's like right in my era. I love Beavis.
Damn it, Beavis. Yeah, it's like, I'm the great Cornholio. I need TV for my bunghole.
That's great. I love it.
That's better than I expected. Wow.
It's like, is this show going to go on television? I can't do it as good as I used to, but I used to do it all the time. So I was like, I could do it. But yeah, I used to do a lot of different voices, and I would do the Robin Williams kind of.
Yeah.
I get that all the time. Am I related to Robin Williams? But yeah, I came up with that character for the show and went on for a few episodes and then off. And I was actually on the first season as myself, and they wanted me to be on the show, but I had contracts with the cruise ships and couldn't go on. So I missed out on that opportunity the first season. And I also did Germany's Got Talent, which is called Das Super Talent. And so they paid me to go to Germany and do the Psycho Jack act.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So see,
not a bad vacation.
Yeah. So some people just go on the show just to go on the show, and some people get paid to go on these shows. So they're not, like I say, it's not always as it appears.
So did you know when you were going to get cut then, or was that all scripted?
I wasn't quite sure. They didn't tell me everything, but when they started changing what I wanted to do on the show, I knew something was real fishy. And of certain tricks that I wanted to do or not do, and I even told them on one. I said, there's no way I can do this. There's not enough time. You can't teach a girl how to do this, and they're like, "No, that's okay because it doesn't have to go perfect." I'm like, "It's not going to go near perfect because it's impossible." So that's when I knew that it was time for Psycho Jack to leave the show. That I'm going to get written out. But yeah,
that's kind of disappointing though. Like if you think about it, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I would love to maybe do it again as myself with this kind of stuff that I'm doing now. Maybe I'll present them something in the future, but we'll see. But I've did some other fun television shows through the years. I did some stuff on Comedy Central. Did the David Letterman show a couple of times back in the day. Last September, gosh, it's almost been a year ago. I did the Mike Huckabee show. And that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was it.
And I was on there with the singer Brian White. He had the big hit with Shania Twain from the moment.
Oh, yeah.
And that was in Nashville. But yeah, magic really did start by accident. I mean, I was just a regular blue-collar worker. I had a little bit of college. I was in the Army National Guard. about 5 years when I was really, really young. And, went to Fort Knox, Kentucky, did all that. 5 or 6 years in the Guard. I was working for a major paper corporation. And all of a sudden, we started having major layoffs in the early 90s. And I was back and forth with this paper company. And then I was performing at the comedy club in Birmingham, Alabama. And we have one of the best comedy clubs in the country. It's like 4 tiers. I mean, it's really nice. And I met a guy named Ray Wald. And Ray was known as the pyrotechnic madman. And he did fire, pyro, crazy stunts. And he saw my show and he asked would I come to San Diego for a couple of months and work on some fire magic and stuff for him.
Cool.
That sounds fun.
Oh, wow. Yeah, fire magic. What could go wrong?
Yeah,
Right?
fire.
I had never been to California. I'd been to Las Vegas, on vacation, but I thought, well, this is a great opportunity. And so I went cross country to San Diego, and we became really, really good friends. And his wife actually was a singer on the Benny Hill show in the early days.
Oh, really?
And, yeah.
Really?
We all became really close friends, and I worked with Ray for a couple of years, and then I decided to go back out on my own and start doing, the big illusions again. And my show kind of turned into more kind of a David Copperfield thing, and so I really didn't have my own, I don't know what you would call it, persona yet. It was almost like I was a clone of somebody else. And I think that's what a lot of magicians did. They would clone themselves after, people.
Somebody else, yeah.
And, but anyway, Ray soon after got big opportunities, and he went to the Cirque du Soleil show, at the Bellagio. And Ray has been at the Bellagio from 1999 to right now. And I think he's only one show. He sets himself on fire.
Yeah, I've seen him. I've seen him at the Bellagio.
He's on fire?
Wow. Ray is engulfed in fire. I mean, it's the most amazing thing you ever seen. We used to go and we would do NBA halftimes and college halftime basketball games, hockey. We did fire on ice, hockey shows, in between quarters. Universal Studios. We even went to, I don't know if you ever heard of the disc jockey that was real popular in Chicago, Mancow, but he was Howard Stern of Chicago. And we went and did a show with him. It was called The Freak Show, and we did that. And I think it sold out 2 nights. That place held like 3,000 people, and they sold out in like 2 hours. Wow. That's how popular this guy was. But we did all kind of stuff like that, overseas television shows, and then sometimes we'd go to Las Vegas, and we would film like a television show, like for Spain in Las Vegas, and they would just bring in the host. So you really, I guess if you're watching Spain when it would air, you would filmed there in Spain, but actually it was filmed in Las Vegas because that's where they get all the acts. And they didn't have to, fly the acts to them. The host just came to the acts. So I guess it was cheaper. So.
Oh wow, how fun though!
Yeah. Actually,
so traveling the country and lighting yourself on fire. That's awesome.
Literally lighting it on fire.
So,
yeah.
I was still always very cautious of the fire, but I got used to it. And when I was working with Ray, we were actually about to go on the Letterman show for the 3rd time, and he had a property in Temecula, California, and because in California, especially San Diego County, you couldn't do fireworks or fire anywhere around there. That was
no, you can't.
So what we would do is Ray had this property outside of Temecula up in the mountains, and it was about a 3,000 foot elevation, kind of like the middle of nowhere, 20 miles from Temecula. So we're so high up, you could see Temecula, past the valley. And when we were there, we had to film what we were going to do on the Letterman show, because they want to know exactly what you're going to do. They want to see it, and it's got to be timed, pretty much to seconds, because they always have their best act on last. So you've got to make sure you get in what you got to get in, because when that show goes to commercial or the show's over, it's over. So you've got, you got to time it just right. So, so we're filming everything. We're going to film everything, the music. And there's a boulder out beside this cabin that he's got up there. And that's where we used to shoot all our demo videos, in front of this big giant. It was probably 15 feet wide, 15 feet tall. And we would set up halogen lights out there, and we would shoot it at night, so that you could really see the fire really good. So that was the night that I saw my first and only UFO ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
I didn't know that.
I'd like to hear more about that, because I live in that area. That's where I'm about 40 minutes away from Temecula, right here, where I'm at. So.
Where are you at?
I'm in a little town called Anza.
Anza.
Yeah, it's like if you're going from Temecula to like Palm Desert.
Okay.
You would pass through Anza on your way, and if you blinked, you would miss it. But
okay.
We do have a lot of UFO activity out here too, so I'd love to hear about what you saw.
Yeah, well, we were up there getting set up during the daylight hours, and we had got everything set up, all the props ready, halogen light set up, camera set up. And back then, like this was in 1997 when this happened, we had one of those big RCA cameras. VHS, RCA.
Yeah.
Had that thing. Yeah. So, and the cabin that he had there was really small. I mean, it was probably 20 by 20, something like that. And he just basically had bought that property to store stuff in a shed that he had, and then to shoot videos, and just a place to kind of get away, because there was hardly anybody living up on that mountain. He had one neighbor, that had one of these airstreams, a couple of 100 yards away. But Ray had all this property, and right straight out in front of him was just like the valley, and you could see Temecula in the distance. And behind us was a huge mountain. And in the wintertime, it stayed, covered with snow. I mean, that mountain's probably a couple of miles high. So that one particular evening, and this was in, I think it was February of 1997, because I remember it was, whenever it happened, it was within a couple of weeks of when the Phoenix lights happened.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And I wasn't, at the time, a big UFO guy, at all. I didn't really research that kind of stuff or anything like that. But that particular night, we're in there getting this pyro stuff ready inside the cabin. And we were almost done, and Ray said, we about got this wrapped up. He goes, if you want to go out and just take a quick check and make sure we got everything ready to shoot, because we're going to have to shoot it and try to get back to San Diego at a decent hour, and then mail that VHS off the next morning. And I said, okay. So I walk out the front door of the cabin, and when you come out the front door of the cabin, it's actually really it's the back door, and there's a porch, because you look straight out and it's Temecula lights in the distance. And I kind of got off the edge of the porch, and I just kind of looked up, because it was a real nice evening. All the stars were out. I don't think the moon was out. And I happened to look off to my left, and I saw a light, and I thought it was just like a airplane, airliner coming maybe towards Los Angeles or something like that. And there's two hills to my left, So I saw the light kind of at the one hilltop, and it's kind of moving toward the other hilltop. And that's when I thought, well, it's just, it's an airplane. I'm just kind of seeing the lights at the right angle, and it looks bright.
Yeah.
So when it gets over the other hilltop, it stops. And it's just, and I thought, well, that's odd. I said, well, maybe it's a helicopter. And I thought, well, it can't be a helicopter. I mean, you'd hear it. I mean, because it's so quiet up there. So then, it goes back to the first position over the other hilltop and stops. And I'm just like, what is that? And that's when I yell for Ray. So I yell his name. He's like, yeah, what is it? I said, come out here. He said, what is it? I said, come look at this thing. There's some up in the sky. So as soon as Ray opens the door and the light kind of escapes the cabin, this thing drops behind the hill.
Oh, wow.
Just out. I mean, just. And I'm like, okay, you're not going to believe this, but this is what happened. So I told him everything I just saw. And he's like, well, my neighbor Brian over here said he's seen stuff up here in the sky that he can't explain. And we talk about it for about a minute. And then, of course, we're on a schedule. And he's going to have to go back in and finish that up. And I'm still sitting there just like wondering what this got through seeing. So I just have to kind of brush it off. And I'm thinking about it. And I'm turning. I'm going to my right. And to the boulder, it's probably, I would say, maybe 40 yards away, 40, 45 yards. I'm kind of walking toward that way, and I'm looking out over the valley, and there it is again. This time it's out over the valley. It's just, just out there. It just looks like a big bright light, kind of an amber color. I mean, when I first saw it, I did think, well, could that be? That's not the evening star. It's way too bright. I mean, it was probably, I would say, 2 to 3 times the illumination of the evening star. So when I see it again over the valley, I'm just kind of frozen looking at it. It's not moving. You can't hear a sound, nothing. And that's when I got the idea. There's a camera set up over there.
Oh.
And all I would have had to do is spin the camera around. So I'm sitting there, I'm keeping my eyes on this thing, and I take a couple of steps, and then this thing drops and goes back up like in a V. It's kind of a fast.
Whoa.
And freezes again like perfect. And then I'm just like really, excited. I'm not scared or anything. I just can't believe what I'm seeing. And I'm like, I got to get this on film.
Yeah.
So I start walking again, and then all of a sudden, it's like the lights go out. It's like somebody turned off a light switch. So
Did it come back after that?
Notorious for that. Notorious. I just get my camera, and then all of a sudden I'm like, why? I mean, really, why?
See you later.
So whatever it was, when I yelled for Ray to come out, that thing hid because it wasn't going to let another set of eyes get on it. And then it was also, I'm pretty sure, aware there's a camera over there because there's 3 big dual halogen lights. There's 6 lights lighting this boulder up. So whatever it was checking out what's on this mountain. Why is this boulder lit up, and that I've asked people, in the military, I said, could that have been some kind of a early drone or something like that? And they said that, well, did you hear any noise? Because, drones do make a buzzing sound. I said, there wasn't. He said, was there any heat waves coming off of it? I'm like, he said, like you see behind a jet, you see those waves, or like in the desert, see the heat coming off the desert. I said, no, nothing like that. He goes, it wasn't ours.
No. There's actually a name for that phenomenon here, and we call it Goldie. It's an amber orb that's been seen here since the early settler days.
Yeah.
Here in this Temecula, Anza area. So even the people on their wagons and horses were seeing this way back then.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
you got to witness it.
I mean, I couldn't tell how big it was because I don't know exactly how far away it was. That was the only thing. I mean, the hilltops that went behind, they were probably maybe a quarter of a mile away. They weren't mountains; they were just some hills.
Yeah.
So I don't know how far past those hills it was. When it was over the valley, I'm estimating it had to be at least a mile away, maybe a little bit further. I just don't know. I don't know if this thing was the size of a car or bigger or smaller.
Right.
Don't know.
They're hard to gauge. They really are. I think that's, I mean, the whole part of the illusion, as you probably know, but that's amazing. I mean, being that close, I mean, a mile, that's not far away. That's not
Well, I
far
mean,
away.
I think it was a little closer when it was behind the hills, but what was amazing, the way it went around the hills and got out there over the valley. I mean, and when it did that V maneuver, that's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And this was in 97, and I've never seen another one since.
Wow. You kind of lock into them, you know, like the first one I saw, it came 30 feet away, it's 50-foot diameter. I dropped the camera. I mean, you think you would have the camera, I had it in my hand because I was taking pictures. I dropped that sucker and I just, was like staring. I mean, they kind of lock into you, you know?
Yeah.
So what was your experience like? I mean, that's pretty, I don't know. How would you have described it physically? Were you like moved by it? Were you, some people, there's all sorts of different reactions people have.
I mean, I was amazed and puzzled, I guess. But ever since then, it's just like, I can't forget it. Once something like that's happened to you, you never forget it. And you're always looking up in the sky. Like every time I go out, I'm always looking up because that night, look up, I was just kind of stargazing as I walked out of the cabin when I saw it. And so you're always thinking, maybe
it'll come back.
But that's when I got really interested in the subject, and I started reading, books on it, and studying about Area 51 and all those places. I actually went out there one night just out of curiosity.
That was cool.
That was back.
Isn't it crazy? I bet everybody will tell you that after they experience something like that. I was the same thing. All of a sudden, I'm reading physics, and I'm like, anything UFO I could get my hands on. I just it was just something so unbelievable. And you can't deny it when something is that close. Like, it's not like, no, you saw what you saw, and you saw what you saw. So that's like super amazing. But yeah, go on. Wow.
I mean, because in 1997, my vision was 20/20. It was good. Because there's people like, could it have been a satellite? I'm like, no. This was something of substantial size. It was a lot bigger than a star, anything like that. And the way it moved, and it was quiet. And when I was living in San Diego, well, the guy asked about it. He was actually at this. It was I can't remember if it was a bar or it was some kind of club that all the pilots and stuff would go to. And this girl had invited me there one night, and she had introduced me to the guy. He was a Top Gun pilot. It was there in Miramar, and he was the one I was asking about it. He's like, yeah, they see these things, and he didn't know what they were. They, speculations, but he just said whatever they are, they're definitely not ours, and they're not Russian MiGs, and because this is back in the 90s, mid 90s. And then I've met this one guy that was on a red eye when I was coming from Las Vegas back to Alabama one time. because I was about to go out on the cruise ships and I was going to come visit family. So when I was going back to Las Vegas, I think I had got on a flight in Dallas or somewhere on into Vegas. And there was a guy sitting across from me. There was only maybe 20 people on this flight. There was hardly anybody on it. And I heard the flight attendant saying, "Oh, that guy over there's from the White House." And he had some kind of credentials. You know, he was, I don't know, I can't remember. I wish I would have had a camera phone back then. I'd been snapping all kind of pictures. And he was sitting in the aisle from me. And he was having a few cocktails that night. And then I found out he was working for the Clinton administration at the time. He would go to places that the president was going to be going to for an event, and he would pretty much map out, I guess, the way they're going to get from point A
route.
all the routes. Yeah. He was kind of explaining a lot of it to me. Some stuff he couldn't tell me. I guess it's, you know, secret, but that was his job. And then, of course, I asked him, "Well, have you ever been to Area 51?" And then he kind of looked with a real serious face and said, "Twice." And so I get talking about things, and at first I'm like, "Is this guy, you know, is he BSing me or is he real? You know, I don't know." But so we talked about a lot of different things, and then I asked him about the Phoenix lights and all that kind of stuff. And I said, you know, the military said it was flares, and he goes, "Well, they panicked. They didn't know what to say." And I'm like, "Well,"
so he was honest. I mean, that's unusual in itself, right?
So what was it? And he goes, "It was a spacecraft." And I do remember during the conversation, I'm kind of like, "Now, how are you able to tell me all this stuff?" And he goes, "Because if you tell anybody, who's going to believe you?"
Right.
I said, "Well, that's
what year would this been in? Because he's probably right. That was probably their tactic.
This was in 2000. This was in June of 2000. This was like several months after the Harry Potter presentation. And so that was an interesting conversation. I wish, you know, there's a lot of it I can't remember because it's been so long ago. And then I also got to talk I did a show in Roswell, New Mexico, and this was
cool.
This was in 2004, 2005, right in there. And the lady that was over the Roswell Country Club that I was performing at, she wanted to introduce me to somebody because I had asked her earlier that day. I was asking about, you know, the Roswell incident and everything. And she said, "I want to introduce you to someone." And she introduced me to this man. He was probably in his early 80s and really sharp. Yeah. And he worked for the radio station there in Roswell when it happened.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
He was like really, really young. And he told me about how a lot of people that he knew were threatened about not saying anything. Because I said, you know, I'd heard there was a lot of death threats. And he said, "Oh, yeah." He said that people were absolutely, you know, terrified that if they opened their mouth, that somebody was going to come and get them. Never be. He
That's
said
amazing. I can't remember what his name was, but he was depicted in the movie Roswell. I don't know if you ever saw the movie. It had a Dwight Yoakam.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Mac Brazel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the radio guys.
I don't know if he was. I don't know if he was in there when Mac Brazel was doing the interview. I don't even know what this guy's job was. I just remember saying it, and it was so long ago, and it could have been the newspaper that he worked at. I'm kind of conflicted, radio and the newspaper. But it was one of the two. And he's told me, he said, this absolutely happened. He said he knew people or knew of someone that had saw the body at the airbase. So,
Wow.
He said, look, people might call me a kook. He goes, but I know what was happening at the time, and I believe the people that were telling me. And this was a guy, he said, look, I'm a very religious guy. And he goes, and I'm not the kind of person to make things up. It happened. He goes, and I just remember the words when he said, people might think I'm a kook, but I'm not.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they love to do that.
Well,
Rather be at that, yeah.
Yeah, for him to be at that age and be sticking to a story like that.
Yeah.
You gotta take his word for it. I mean,
and back in those days, people probably would when you tell them. Like I told several people about what I saw, and they're just kind of like, I did one radio show, and I remember the host saying, "Were you drinking at the time?" But I think now, since they started releasing all this footage from the Pentagon, people are starting to come around, and then you got people like Tucker Carlson are really pushing it. Joe Rogan, he's real interested in it. Lex Friedman, all those guys, and
Chris Mellon.
And then
you got. I mean, there's definitely something happening. There's definitely a shift.
Definitely.
I mean, when you got David Fravor, the Top Gun pilot, coming up that saw the Tic Tac, and it wasn't just him; it was the person in the plane with him and the other two people in the other Hornet. So, did she disappear on us?
Nope. No, I'm here. I'm sorry, my cam just shut off for a second.
Yeah, there we go. So it's really interesting, and I was friends with or became friends with Art Bell before he passed away.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, there's a lot of Art Bell fans. I mean, Art Bell's a legend. That's a really
He's
cool.
a legend, yeah.
I back when I was developing my new show, which I called the Paranormal Show, because I was kind of getting away from the old style of magic and the David Copperfield stuff.
Yeah.
And I started putting this new kind of show together with the mentalism, the mind reading, the predictions, and still having some illusions, but not using, assistants or anything. I would have the things happening to me and to the audience. So when I was putting this together, I thought, I should approach Art Bell with this, because that would be fun to maybe do some theater shows with him as a host. So I had written him an email, and I sent it out, and I thought, I'm probably not going to hear from him. The very next day, I get a phone call, and a 702 number pops up, and I thought it was my friend Ray, the fire guy from Las Vegas. I said, "Hey, Ray, what's going on?" And he goes, "This is Art."
No way.
I'm like, Art Bell? And then he starts talking, and I hear the voice, and I'm like, that's Art Bell. And so we ended up talking for about an hour, and he's kind of the same guy you hear on the radio. Just
I bet.
Yeah, just real down to earth, and then we talked again, and we would email some, and he was like really interested in this paranormal thing I was putting together. He thought that was really cool, and then he passes away not long after that, and it was just like, oh.
I know, sad day that was.
Yeah, the world lost a good person. And you know what, before you go any further, because this is so fascinating, but we're at the top of the first hour, so we have to take a break. And I'm like dying to hear more about this. So is it okay if we let's remember exactly where we're at here, because I don't want you to leave out any details. For Art Bell, I mean, it's just like so many people, just a legend at heart. And that's just amazing that right up until the end that you did have communication with him, and how this all got. I just can't wait to hear more about your story. So With that note, everybody, if you just hold on and give us about 5 minutes, we'll be back on our short break. So, as I am technology impaired here, I will get this on really quick. And we're good.
Lights in the sky above, questions we can't shove, mysterious stories told, secrets that unfold. Experts share their tales, mysteries in the trails, whispers in the night, aliens in flight. Oh, UFOs aren't real, tell me what you feel. Aliens unseen, paranormal dream. Cryptids in the woods, Sasquatch understood, the unknown so surreal, cool news we reveal. Experts talk and share, mystery everywhere, beyond the skies we gaze, eerie endless maze. Oh, UFOs aren't real, tell me what you feel. Aliens unseen, paranormal dream.
Lights up in the sky, strange shapes passing by, whispers in the night, the unknown takes flight. Aliens and dreams, paranormal streams, secrets in the mist, hidden truths persist. Tell me what's up there, secrets we can share. UFOs and stars, mystery so far. Cryptids in the woods, Sasquatch like it should. Echoes in the dark, leave a lasting mark. Experts leading way, truths they need to say. Peeling back the veil, tales that never fail. Tell me what's up there, secrets we can share. UFOs and stars, mystery so far. Mr. Far. Cryptids in the woods, Sasquatch like it should. Echoes in the dark, leave a lasting mark. Cryptids in the woods, Sasquatch like it should. Echoes in the dark, leave a lasting mark. Cryptids in the woods, Sasquatch like it should. Echoes in the dark, leave a lasting mark. Cryptids in the woods, Sasquatch like it should. Echoes in the dark, leave a lasting mark. Cryptids in the way, truths they need to say. Peeling back the veil, tales that never fail. Cryptids in the woods, Sasquatch like it should. Echoes in the dark, leave a lasting mark.
Letters from distant stars, questions we dare to ask, footsteps and forces afar, mysteries in our grasp, UFOs and things unseen, paranormal in the in-between, cryptids lurking in the night, bring the unknown to the light. Tales of Sasquatch roam, legends of eerie moans, footprints that lead us home, signals from cosmic zones, aliens and haunted ground, phenomena all around, lost truths waiting to be found. In silence, there's a sound. UFOs and things unseen, paranormal in the in-between. Cryptids lurking in the night, bring the unknown to the light. UFOs and beings unseen, paranormal in the in-between. Cryptids lurking in the night, bring the unknown to the light. Cryptids lurking in the night, bring the unknown to the light.
Hello and welcome back, everybody, from our first break. So we got everybody here. This is pretty amazing. We ended on our bell, which is just, hard to stop there.
The
But I thought if we
legend.
didn't, we could far in. Yeah, the legend. Along with you, David, you're a legend too. Everybody's
Absolutely.
I'm being a fan. I am a fan, okay? As I saw him on a TV
Me
show, I
too.
made my whole family watch. So this is
I
great.
remember David from David Letterman.
Man,
That's how old I am.
yeah. You're like groupies now, David. So.
Right?
Yeah, so carry on. So like you're just getting to the beginning now and how you're kind of changing yourself up and Art Bell gives you a call out of nowhere. I mean, that's just amazing in itself. So continue on. You're muted.
Yeah, Dave's muted.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
There we are.
You got me?
we got
Gotcha.
you.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Through the years, I've met and worked with so many different celebrities. Some big time names. But it's like when Art Bell called, it was just like, I couldn't believe it because I used to listen to Art when I would travel the country. I used to do a lot of country clubs back through the 90s and through the 2000s. And when you're driving at night, there's nothing on the radio really. So I would be listening to, Dreamland, Coast to Coast with Art. And so I would get so fascinated, driving late at night and hearing the UFO stories, the ghost stories, and things like that. And then to have him call me on the phone, I was just like, I couldn't believe it. And then he was just so nice, just down to earth. That was the great thing about him. Like zero ego, anything like that. But sometimes you meet these celebrities, and I've met some that, their egos are just out the roof, and then some are just super grounded, and he was one of those type. And then we talked about our UFO experiences, which I had the one and he had the one with if I'm not mistaken, him and his first wife Ramona were driving back to Pahrump through the desert, and a black triangle came across the top of their vehicle, just dead silent, and just a giant black triangle.
I remember that story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember,
It's amazing.
but he said, it's just like with me. once you've seen something, it's just kind of like it's just embedded in you.
Yeah, you can't unsee it once you've seen it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be with you
I
forever.
mean,
You know.
yeah. With me, I saw a light. With him, he saw a big giant object. So I can only imagine how spectacular that was. You know.
Was that like one of the TR3Bs? Is that what he thought it was?
Don't know.
Who knows?
He saw
like-
it. That's all that
Yeah,
matters.
he saw it.
And of course, he was also interested big time in ghosts, things like that. And I've only had one situation that I can't explain as far as that goes, and that was when I was around, I think I was 19, maybe 18. My uncle had just passed away, and he was actually living with us for a while. And my dad worked for Alabama Power Company, and he was always getting calls to go out at night. If there's a storm or anything, he was always having to go to these substations or go put up new transformers. So he would be gone a lot and come back at night. And no matter if I'm asleep or awake, if I'm asleep, he's still going to come wake me up. And he would always come in the room like, "Hey, are you asleep?" And he would sit on the side of the bed. He was one of these dads that was going to ask you how your day was, what happened. That's just the way it was. He'd sit on the bed and wake me up, and I'd have to come out of the sleep. So there was just one particular evening. I guess he had went out on a call, and it was probably 10 o'clock, and I had just came and laid down and just kind of turned over, and I'm just kind of sitting there thinking about the day or whatever, not really all that sleepy yet. And all of a sudden, I feel, as normal, I feel the bed go down, like he's sitting on the side of the bed, and I kind of turn over, and there's nobody there.
Oh, wow.
And then I'm like petrified because I could feel that bed go down. And then I'm just kind of sitting there, and I can't. It's dark in there, and I can't remember if there was any light coming through, but I think I just kind of threw the cover over, like this can't be happening, kind of thing. And I could feel something touching my thigh, and then I felt, and this was back when we had like the mattress and the box spring that makes a lot of noise. I don't even know if they have those anymore.
Yeah.
The kind that would squeak, when it would go down.
I know what you're talking about. Oh yeah.
Some of the people listening won't know because now you got these sophisticated beds with memory foam.
Right.
But this is like one of those box springs underneath, and it made a definite noise when somebody else would sit on the bed or whatever. And then all of a sudden, I'm petrified, and then the thing starts coming back up. Like you could just hear it squeaking, and you could feel the tension coming off. And I am so petrified, I couldn't even get up out of the bed. And I don't remember how long I stayed awake that night. But it's kind of like I was scared to yell out, like somebody's going to think I'm crazy and they're going to put me in a psych ward. but that was my only experience as far as something like that goes. Now
you as him, like it was kind of his routine.
That kind of gives me goosebumps. It hurts.
Now one of my closest friends, he was a band director at the school where we graduated. His dad was a band director. His dad was the band director, and we played in. I've known him since we were little kids because he also played keyboards. I played guitar and drums. Like we were playing in rock bands when we were young, and so we've been real close for a lot of years. And he has been like a what do you call it? A praise band minister of music for many, many years. And he had just gotten married. This was gosh, this would have been in the 90s. And he and his wife were in this new house. And it was about 3 o'clock in the morning. And he, for some reason, just kind of woke up. And his vision was a little bit blurry. He said he remembered that you could kind of see in the room. I think it had one of those clocks, I think, that's red to kind of, give off a little bit of light. And I think you could see a little bit of light coming through like the blinds from a street light outside. But he said he looked at the foot of the bed and there was somebody standing there. And then he said his vision started getting a lot better when he saw him, because he thought, oh my God, there's an intruder in the house. Because all he could see is just the shadow. So he starts to punch on Katie that's right next to him. And he's whispering to her, like, Katie. And she's like, what? And he's like, look. And whatever it was coming around the foot of the bed toward Katie's side. And Katie's seeing this thing, and then Katie all of a sudden screams. And so David's over on this side, whatever it was is on that side. He jumps off the bed, hits the light, nothing there. And they go through the whole house. The doors are locked. There's nothing in the closet, nothing under the bed. And they both see this thing, like a you hear about these shadow people. And he said that's the only time that they've ever seen something like that. These are really religious people, that are in church every Sunday, and they were both just petrified. And they, we talk about it on occasion. And he said at the time it was almost like it was a shadow of a person, but it was, he said when it came around the bed, it kind of looked like it was more free floating, or it wasn't quite the shape of a person, almost like some kind of a mass. He said at first it looked just like the shape of a person until it kind of started coming around the side of the bed, and then it changed a little bit. But she saw it too, so there was 2 sets of eyes on it. And
Wow.
They can't explain it. And then I've got another really close friend of mine named Greg. And Greg and his brother Brian, when they were living in Mobile, I think they were probably 8 and 10 years old at the time. One of them woke up in the middle of the night and looked to the door, and the door was open, and there outside the hallway was like these blue orbs. He said they were about the size of, like a golf ball or something.
Wow.
And so I think it was Brian that saw it first, and he woke Greg up, and Greg woke up, and Brian's like, hey, can you see that? And he's looking, and he's like, yeah. And they formed like a triangle, and they're sitting there, and they're both just petrified in their bed. And Greg, he's a little bit younger, so Greg screams like, Mom. So as soon as he screamed, he said those 3 orbs went down the hall, just like fast, gone. His mother comes in there, turns the lights on. They're hysterical, and they never saw it again. But he said they were, I guess, a bluish green kind of light, almost like neon or something. And I actually had heard a story. I can't think of his name. You might know him. The one that's kind of blew the whistle on the Tic Tac and all that kind of stuff, that started letting the information out to the Jeremy.
Oh, me, David Grush.
What's his name?
David Grush. Is that who you're talking about?
No, he's Hispanic, I think. He worked.
Oh, Lou Elizondo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Captain Lou.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. CIA Lou.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I heard an interview with him the other day, and he talks about very similar objects. years ago in a house that he was living in, but they saw him many times, he said. But he was talking about these were like, I think they were green, but he said sometimes they were different sizes. They would just come up and float like little orbs, like, and they were almost neon-like. So when I heard that, I'm like, that's exactly what Greg and Brian saw. So,
Wow.
and then,
That's amazing, Orbs. I grew up seeing spirits. So what you're saying is so interesting to me because the big question is, where do the paranormal and the UFO, like, where's the crossroads? You know, because they
I don't,
somewhere.
you know, I don't know if you've seen some of the Tucker Carlson interviews, but he has been talking to somebody, and the person that's told him about what these things are, he said he was even afraid to tell his wife about some of the stuff.
Would that have been Tom Reed? You have like circle glasses.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But he
He's
said
a
something
little-
that he's been told he doesn't want to tell his wife because it's just so disturbing. So, and then I've heard him in some of the interviews talk about their supernatural or maybe demonic. So it makes you wonder: are these things aliens? Are these things really demons? What are they? I don't know.
Are they the same? Like, I mean,
They're
really,
the
are
same,
they?
yeah.
Yeah, like I just, it's hard for me because I grew up seeing spirits. I encountered a UFO in 2017. It found me. I didn't find it. But they're two different worlds. But yet now everybody's, going along this lines of like, okay, is this like interdimensional? Is this, what's actually going on here? Are they one and the same? We just see them differently because the orbs I've seen both with craft and I've seen like as paranormal. Now with craft, they're like right there, like balls of electricity, where orbs are more of, I mean, they're not like, that neon like you described. So that's tough. That's tough. What do you think? What's your, as being an experiencer of both? I didn't know that you were of both, but that's very fascinating.
I just don't know. I mean, to listen to the guy you were talking about, he said it could be like extraterrestrial drones of some type. These orbs. I don't know. It's like, are they connected? Are they two separate things?
I think it could all be connected, in my opinion. But that's just my
Are,
opinion.
are these spirits that people say they see? Are they really spirits, or are they demons? Are they aliens? I mean,
Yeah, that's always bothered me because somebody
or it's
said
not-
it, like
I don't-
that's always bothered me, that statement right there, because when I've seen them and I say, this is what I'm seeing and da da da, and they're like, well, what if they're tricking you? I'm like, well, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's always a possibility. It's always a
it
possibility.
is.
well, I'm friends with Tony Spera and Judy Warren, and
Yeah,
Tony thinks that these things are demonic.
all of them he thinks are. I wish we have another host coming on, and he was on Extreme Paranormal. He's into the paranormal big time. He's got some good questions for you. But I told him about the doll and how you went to the Paracon and all that. So he knew where all the people were, and he's like, oh yeah, no, that's like amazing. Because Annabelle, the doll Annabelle, so he thinks every single one of them, like even ET, UFO, that they're all demonic, or is he just mean like the spirit portion of them?
What does Tony think?
Yes.
Well, I've never really had the conversation about the UFOs with him, but he thinks, from what I gather, that these spirits are demonic. A lot of people believe, like they say that, like, the dead know not anything. And there's a lot of people that say that these are demonic beings that are imitating the dead, that are tricking you. So I don't know. There's just so many answers or questions.
Yeah, everyone's got their own interpretation of that.
I
You know,
mean,
as for me personally, I grew up in the church, but I don't count myself as religious, you know.
Yeah, the Catholic Church, if you grew up in the Catholic Church, it was either spiritual or it was demonic. You know, there's
Demonic,
no in between.
yeah. No in
with
between.
that.
it's like
Is he the one that kept the Annabelle doll then?
huh?
Is he the one that kept the Annabelle doll?
Well, yeah, because Ed and Lorraine, they had the artifacts. And of course, when they passed away, that goes to Judy, their daughter, and to Tony. So I've actually, been there in the artifacts room there at the house, and I mean, it's a really creepy place there when you're there and it's dark.
Oh, I bet.
And you
Yeah.
were right there. Did you? I
Oh,
mean,
yeah. I'm like
I heard
right
that
next
they
to
built
it.
something to be
Really
able to
done.
transport her. Oh yeah, I like him. I like stuff like that. But yeah, no, it's. So what
Yeah.
did you think about Annabelle? Did she talk out to you? I mean, what do they say? Because I saw the picture you had sent. It said like basically was like positive things or something that had something written on it.
It's kind of odd feeling because you're sitting there or standing in a room with this doll that the whole world knows about, and you're sitting there thinking, I'm the only human being on Earth right here in this room
For
next to
this
this
doll.
that everybody's talked about, and all these movies are about.
Yeah, yeah, I
Right.
know. If you watch
Yeah.
The Conjuring, that was, I just watched it the other night and I was like, oh boy. But I just want to see
Yeah.
that owl. It's like should you look, should you not look? But I'd have to look. I'd have to.
Well, it's like Judy's kind of like her dad told her, said, "Don't ever look at that thing straight in the eyes." And
Oh, yeah.
she goes, "I don't ever look at that thing in the eyes."
Well, did you look it straight in the eyes?
I did.
Yeah, I would have to.
I guess I'm like the Aerosmith song, "Living on the Edge."
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, if you went that far, I mean, how would you not?
Might as
Somebody
well.
tells you not to do something. It's like. So
But I guess I
did
just
they
have
since
an
they put her in her new? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I've just got an inquiry mind about things. So, if I'm in that situation, I'm going to sit there and, look at it, check it out.
You tap on the glass or anything?
No, I didn't tap on the glass. I think I touched. But
I'd have been like
Are
getting
you
closer.
awake?
Like, how do I knock the latch off of this thing? I mean, that's probably where I get myself into trouble. But yeah, so you're left alone with Annabelle, and you stick your hand in or anything. I mean,
but Tony says he has a priest coming there. I think about once a month and blesses the place. And he's got a team of people that come in there and do a lot of different investigations. But he's pretty set on that thing's demonic, and
I believe that.
It's like I don't know if he like believes like strictly in ghosts or just all demons, but just I'm thinking he thinks these things are demonic that people are seeing that are imitating the dead. I'll tell you a funny story though. He gave me a book. I don't know if I got it over there somewhere, but it's the demonologist book from Ed Warren. And I was just kind of flipping through it, and on one of the chapters, it's the Annabelle thing.
Yeah.
And this was right after I had gotten back from Connecticut, and I was just kind of looking through it, and I was kind of reading a little bit, and I noticed on the page that there was something on there, and I thought, oh, he gave me a book that's got some kind of red marker or something on it, and I looked, and my finger was bleeding.
Oh, what?
And so there's a blood stain on this book.
Oh my God!
It's like I couldn't figure out why my finger was bleeding because it was almost like a paper cut or something. I didn't feel myself get cut, but it's right there on. chapter 1 page.
Oh,
Where
wow.
Annabelle? What was this before or after you saw Annabelle? And did it happen in the?
This was when I got home, and I was
Oh,
just kind of sitting on the bed, flipping through, and I got to the Annabelle chapter, and I was just kind of reading a little bit of it, and that's when I looked, and I'm like, what is that mark on the book? And that's when I say, oh my gosh, my thumb's bleeding, and
Oh, wow.
it was just
oh my
kind
God!
of, that's weird.
That's what
You're
you
like,
get for
well,
looking at your eyes.
I
you
mean,
must have tapped on the glass, didn't you?
Yeah.
You tapped on the glass.
but part of me is like, is this some kind of sign?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real.
Oh yeah, she's telling you.
Because I'm sitting there by
she
myself
knows.
and I'm reading it and I'm bleeding on that particular page, and I was like, that's unusual.
Yeah, like what do you do with that? I mean, you have that forever now. Like, I don't
Yeah. I should have pulled the book out. It's over there somewhere.
oh my God. I mean, when stuff like that happens, I wish, like I said, Sean, the other host, he talks about this box that he did, and lightning struck, and then it started a place on fire. He's got like a burn on his arm, and he's like, just some of the things like it was along the same lines of the Annabelle doll, but it was like this haunted box. So yeah, I totally I believe in that. And as much as I probably shouldn't, I want to see that doll so bad. I really do. I want to see that doll. When you showed me, I was like, oh, I'm so jealous. Not only did I see him on the show and think that, like this, I saw you do your levitation um act, and then you went into like, however you did it into two pieces, and then you had a girl disappear, and I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
but so I was impressed by that. And then when the more you're talking, I'm just like, okay, now I've gone from like a groupie to like, can we get your autograph, or are we worthy here? No, that's so awesome though. And then an Annabelle like made you bleed on the book. So I mean, how much cooler can you possibly get?
Yeah, I mean, what's the odds? I just thought, what is the odds of this happening?
Not. I did
Yeah.
pretty well
That
think
is-
she's sending something your way. She's letting you
But,
know.
That's a sign of something for sure.
but that was,
Tap
I
my
think
glass.
I was up there when I saw Annabelle that first time. It was 2020. It was kind of like at the peak of COVID, and I was visiting a friend of mine up in New Haven, Connecticut, and then I could give Tony a buzz, and he's like, "Yeah, come on over to the house, and I'll show you the museum and everything." And so that was a lot of fun, just a one-on-one tour with Tony like that. And then he wanted me to come do the Phantasmacon last year, and that was a lot of fun up at Mohegan Sun Casino in Connecticut. Of course, when you go to that one, they keep you away from the doll a little bit more. I think you're about 10 feet back. Not as intimate as actually going into the artifacts room.
Yeah, I bet not. And then you were left alone too. So
Yeah,
a lot.
when you're with everybody, they're drinking wine and everything, so you got safety in numbers.
Yeah. Have they said that she's done anything since they've had her? Like, and closed? Has she moved or?
I don't know. There was. It seems like there was somebody telling a story that they could have swore the thing blinked, but I don't remember that one tell that story. But I mean, I didn't see anything like that. I didn't see any movement. I was sitting there watching it for a little while, and
You just bled on the book on the page.
but that was when I got to Alabama. The wild part.
Oh yeah, no, but that to me says that doll's got some power.
But
Wow.
it was, and when it happened, it was just like I couldn't believe it that I'm got cut, and that's the page I bled on. When I'm turning the pages, because I didn't see myself get cut or anything. So
Annabelle likes you. You have another fan.
Christen that chapter with your blood. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah,
Like,
I need to post that on, take a picture and put it on Facebook.
You really should.
You should,
I'm
yeah.
going to use this as bragging. Like I'm going to tell people, now look at this is because that's pretty cool. I'm a huge fan of the Annabelle doll too, obviously, but just that happened, like that's when stuff like that happens, that they're sending you a message. So she must have liked you since she didn't
Well,
take out a major artery or anything. So
well,
that's
the
good.
demon, I don't know how well it liked.
Yeah.
Sounds like she came home
Millions.
to you. Yeah.
Yeah, no creepy dolls for this guy. I'm sorry. I'm out.
I see the one behind you. I love stuff like that. My son, he said, don't bring anything like that home. I'm like, oh, what are you talking about? Yeah, I love stuff like that.
Yeah, this is a custom made ventriloquist dummy.
Cool. What's his name? Oh, wow.
Oh, no way.
It has a David Merlin twist. For those you can't see, yeah, we wish we could.
Yeah, he does. I can't get him camera good.
That is pretty cool.
That is cool. Oh,
But,
wow.
Yeah, I'm thinking about putting him in a movie script that I'm been thinking on for a while.
Oh, you should.
Yeah, I saw that in your bio that you were working on a script idea that you were planning on directing.
Yeah, I've got a few different ideas and of different stories, because being that I do special effects and I know about cameras and lighting and music, because I grew up a musician before I got into magic, so.
Oh yeah. And before that, you were a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
I mean, you've worn many hats here, David. Many hats.
Yeah, it's like I was a skateboarder when I was a kid. Like I was skateboarding, and we would build these vertical ramps. We'd go to skateboard parks, get in these vertical swimming pools. My friend broke the world record for a handstand on a skateboard when we were teenagers.
Oh, wow. That's
So
impressive.
Those were the good old days. I like those days.
Yeah, it's like I'm kind of one of those that just loves to do a little bit of everything. So just real adventurous. I still love going to theme parks and stuff. Yeah, I enjoy all that. So my next thing is I definitely want to put together a movie and write it, direct it, be in it, and get some good people and show that you can actually make a really, really good movie without high budgets.
Ah,
Cool.
well,
I like
I
that
know
idea.
some people. If you get it rolling, that if you use the resources, literally, we can. I mean, this community is small. Like, if you tie all that in together, how I have to go back though, like to the illusionist part. Like, can you tell us any of your tricks or secrets? Like, how did you? I mean, are you a mind reader, or
Well,
do you? I mean, you didn't cut yourself in half, right? Or did you? I don't know. I mean, your levitation thing was top of the line.
yeah,
I was very impressed with that.
I design and build all my own stuff. These things just pop in my head, It's like I'm working on something new right now, and every once in a while the light bulb goes off, and I'm like, I wonder if this will work. And then so I've got building skills.
Yeah, those props are amazing that you built. I'm like,
I've been fortunate that a lot of magicians, they have to go buy these things from people, and usually when you buy it, it's a trick that's everybody's using around the world. So it's not like it's really exclusive, It's just kind of a mainstream illusion. And I like to get away from that. I like to do things that nobody else is doing. Because years ago, like I said, I was almost like a David Copperfield clone. doing some of the things that he did, maybe acting kind of the way he did. And I got away from all that and just wanted to do something completely different. And that's when I thought, I'm so interested in the world of the paranormal. Why don't I actually do a paranormal type show where you're using telekinesis, telepathy, clairvoyance, conjuring ghosts. Like I even have a new thing where I did these seances live on stage where you see an apparition.
Oh, wow.
Oh. So is this like I said, David, are they all illusion? I mean, magic's not easy. I don't like
a good magician will never tell. So.
no.
Well, it's kind of like when you tell people, they'll say, can you really do this or really do that? Or you really, if you say yes, they'll go, oh, no, you're lying. If you say no, they're like, oh, no, you can.
Right.
Part of me feels like you can. Like, I don't know, you're kind of like a pretty amazing person that has skills. Not everybody, usually they're lucky to have one or two of those. And you've experienced the whole spectrum. And just to know clairvoyance, telekinesis, all of that, like, and just to be so right on, how, with the confidence, like, I feel like you have to know something.
I just tell people at the beginning of the show pretty much, I'm going to let you draw your own conclusion of what you see. Hopefully you guys can see my show sometime and the way I use the audience. And it's kind of a psychological, theater of the mind that I do with everybody. Of course, I do some illusion, but the things that I do with the audience now, it's pretty mind-boggling. And I've even had magicians come in there, and they're just like, I have no clue. I have no clue how you're doing.
I have the mentalist part on there.
amazing.
That's where I'm just like, poof.
Yeah.
I studied psychology. I was a outpatient therapist for 7 years. Like, I know some tricks of the brain, but I mean, and I've watched it close, and I've watched your stuff, and I'm looking for anything and everything, and I, because it's sometimes like the sleight of the hand, like, oh, but
And there's some people, and there are some fraudsters out there that will go on tour and claim they can talk to the dead and talk to these family members. And a lot of what they're doing is techniques that I'm very familiar with. And which I don't do any stuff like that because I don't like, I think it's wrong to mess with people like that. But
Agreed.
to play with their emotions, I think that's very deceptive. And I can just say from the ones that I have seen, they are not talking to the dead. And they're not seeing that one next to that. They're just using techniques. I'll just say that.
that's part of what I don't like, because I said that when you genuinely can. That's why I would never do, I tell people things here and there, but I said, if you're sitting there doing a solid reading, you're filling in the blanks, and you're just, it's going too far with things sometimes. I don't like that either.
Yeah.
They're watching reaction from the audience. They're like, somebody over here, I can see that somebody here just lost one of their loved ones. They're watching their eyes. If somebody's eyes pop up, like,
yeah, there they are.
Oh yeah,
target.
Closer, yeah, and they're like just in their chair, yeah.
Because they've got a captive audience of people that have come there that are believers in what they're doing here on stage. So they're preying upon those people. And of course, they're using plants in some cases to make it really realistic.
Oh, I believe that.
What do you mean plants? The plants are
like, somebody that works for them.
Oh, plants! I was thinking like plants. Like, well, I didn't know if you were alluding to marijuana or something. I'm like, Plans. Okay, I
Yeah.
got it.
Or another word, useful stooge, maybe. Or they're stooges. They use that technique, but there's many other techniques, but some of them are just masters of psychology and body language. And in my show, I don't use stooges, or plants. It's like I usually get a big wad of paper, throw it into the audience, and I say, "All right, toss it around. Whoever catches it, that's who I ask questions to, and they'll throw it to somebody else." It's like I like the audience to choose who's going to be called upon, so that it doesn't look like I'm pre-planning this stuff, and it's pretty powerful. But I don't do things like telling people I can see their loved ones and things. Yeah, I'm totally not into doing that.
Yeah, that's totally messing with people's hearts, and their and their emotions, to think that they're talking to their grandma and it's really just them making stuff up, So.
Yeah. I just don't believe in doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I believe there are some people that have visions, and I believe in their telepathy or telepathic kind of things. Like when you're thinking about somebody, and all of a sudden, like this person might live in California and you're in Alabama, and all of a sudden you get a text message from that person.
Right. Or they call, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's, maybe our brains are Wi-Fi. If a cell phone can transmit through the air on the other side of the world, who's to say our brains can't? Our brains are like computers. Our brains are faster than that cell phone. I mean, we can think of something, faster than we can ask Siri.
Oh, so, yeah.
It's true, yeah.
And how much our brains process ahead of us, and how much we even are in our awareness is like a whole nother topic. Have you ever popped the clouds with your prefrontal cortex? I didn't believe in this, you guys. I did not believe in this, but we had a guest who was like part of the Montauk Project, and she's like, "No, when you see those fluffy white clouds, start with a small one, otherwise you'll be there for some time, and then you take." And I'm not joking you. I tried this like 20 times, and every single time it worked. And I had my son stand there and like, Brady, watch this, and other people stand there. So whether it's you envision you going out to that cloud and it popping and pop, 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 pop. That's all I remember saying. So like sitting there, like projecting my brain out to this cloud, and it does go away. So I'm like, so is that an illusion, or is that really, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like that cloud went away. I mean, 20 of them, I think. One day I was so exhausted because I thought, one of these are not going to go away. Then I went for the big ones. They took a little bit longer. But, I mean, it just, like, stuff like that just blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind. But try it. You guys try to pop the cloud because it works. It really does. You just have to.
Well, the military were involved in remote viewing, and they claim that was absolutely a project with the military.
Right, yeah, the clouds popping, and then the men who stare at goats. I believe that was in that movie.
What
the
movie?
Remote viewing project. The men who stare at goats, the movie with George Clooney. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
I don't think I saw that one.
Oh, it's a comedy, but it's based on the actual remote viewing project from, I don't know the official name of the program that it was called, but
that was Dr. Hal Putoff that did that.
Yeah, I think so.
Years ago, with what was it, Swan? I can't remember what his first name was. And they had the other guys. That's and people. There's a lot of people that claim, that I've never done it. I've not, or out of body experiences. Like, so how okay? So you go from, how did this all transpire into who you are, like, right now? Because there's just like all these layers, David. Like, I'm trying to like stand back here, like, Man,
Um,
you need about 20 books. Right.
Yeah, right.
well, I mean, I guess the paranormal stuff, just because the experience when I was younger with what was on that bed, I mean, that stuck in my mind. The UFO incident, and of course, getting to meet, Tony and Judy, and talking with a lot of people that have had experiences. I thought, this stuff really is interesting to me. So why don't I do my show based on something that I'm really interested in? And then plus, then I can go do shows at some of these events and talk to these kind of people, and learn more about it.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
Yeah, but
because
you end up looking like the expert. So how did you? Because you're building your own stuff. I mean, I like I said, I couldn't be an amateur. I couldn't. I mean, it's that bad. But I love going into magic stores, and I love going into like, how did you take? Because you're good. You're really good. You guys, if you watch this, he's good. He's really good. To the point where I'm like wondering, like, okay, so you got some extra ability here, David. You want to share with us? Let us into some of the real. I just can't wrap my mind around it that you don't have some ability, because you have to. You really will. Oh, he looked away.
I think I'm very good at reading people. I got really good intuition about people when I meet them. I don't know. It's hard to explain. But like I say in my show, I don't make any claims that I have any kind of supernatural abilities whatsoever. I would never do anything.
No, of course not.
Um,
A magician, a real good. What did you say earlier, Tim? They don't let you in on their secrets. So yeah.
Right. I've always been just fascinated with it too. And I remember when I was a little kid at Disneyland, they had a magic shop there. This must have been like in the 1970s. But I went and bought a little kit so I could put on a little magic show for my parents and grandparents. But unfortunately for me, that's as far as it went. I wasn't very good at it.
I was terrible. And how have you ever gotten hurt in any of those? I mean, okay.
No, I don't really do anything dangerous.
You sawed yourself in two. So I saw you in two.
Yeah, I'm not an escape artist or anything like that. I mean, I know a lot about that kind of stuff, but like right now, I really enjoy what I'm doing, mixing some of the illusions with the psychological stuff and the ghost stuff, and the things that I'm inventing, because they're one of a kind. This is something you can't go buy. It's just, it's things that I pop in my mind, and I'll design something on paper and kind of work it out, and then I'm out there building it. And like I got a new one that's I'm working on right now called Mental GPS, and I should have it finished probably in another week. And because I got to go to New York in 4 weeks, I'm doing some shows in Binghamton, New York. I don't know how to pronounce that. I got to do a couple of shows there. And
welcome to the Midwest. Anybody in this area, can they get tickets to your show or these private shows? Or
like I would, I'm always open. Like if groups want to bring me in, and like paranormal groups, if they want to like put together a show somewhere in a theater or a local civic center or anything like that, I'd love to put together a tour and get back, going across country again, because I do shows for audiences from 50 people to hundreds of people. But my favorite's when it's a little more intimate, where it's just maybe 100, 200 people max. And like I'm going to be doing a museum show for the first time in October, and that's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, cool.
Ooh,
Magic.
Is that gonna be anything like? I remember seeing that you had a little show going with the actor who played Eddie Munster.
Oh yeah. I'm good friends with actor Butch Patrick.
Butch Patrick, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. If you've ever seen the Munsters, he was the Eddie Munster.
The Eddie Munster.
Yeah. And
That's so cool.
my favorite shows. Yeah.
and if you saw the Lost Boys, you saw where they said this is the attack of Eddie Munster when the little vampire woke up.
Oh yeah.
I love that show. I thought I've been looking for that show. That's one of my favorites also.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Butch is a good friend of mine. We just went to the Huntsville Rocket Center. Me, him, and his girlfriend just a few months ago.
Oh,
And
you still talk to him?
He's always on tour, doing car shows and comic book stores, and he takes his reproduction of the Munster Coach or the Dragula. So, and then he does photo ops with people.
That is so cool.
That's
Yeah,
so
not
cool.
only are you cool, you have like cool friends. And tell them who grew up in your town too. I thought this is. I mean, it just adds to it.
Yeah, it's like I somehow just come in contact with these people. When I lived in San Diego, one of the girls in our show, we were going to be doing a show downtown. She goes, "Oh, I'm going to get my brother to come," and I said, "Okay, cool." Little did I know her brother's Mario Lopez from Saved by the Bell. And then when he's there, I'm looking at her and I'm like, she looks just like him, you know.
These are icons. These aren't
Wow.
just like small people, David. I mean, these are like some big icons here. Eddie Munster, and you still talk to him. And wow.
Yeah, talked to Butch a pretty good bit, and but I mean, I've worked with people like Dan Aykroyd and John Goodman and
John Goodman's a good one. Dan Aykroyd, he's mixed in with this too.
John Goodman is cool. I met him one time.
Yeah, and Dan, Dan's really into this stuff. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Sean was actually, he got an interview with Dan Aykroyd, and I was like, man, he's hard to get pinned down but he's big in with MUFON and stuff out in the Hollywood movement. But what was your experience with him?
Well, we were doing comic relief at Universal Hollywood when I met him, and he's just super nice and down to earth. And he was doing a Blues Brothers thing with him and John Goodman and Jim Belushi.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't really talk to Belushi. I think I said hello to him. And then I had a dressing room right next to Carrie Fisher. And I was sharing a dressing room with Bobcat Goldthwait.
Oh, no way.
And, he's like
so cool.
He's like super kind of shy guy almost. And
you wouldn't think that.
And Gilbert Gottfried, he was right. He stayed in the hotel room next to me for that.
I heard he takes all the little shampoos and everything. I just remember the USA Up All Night, like Gilbert Gottfried. Wow, and that's
and
Gilbert.
Gilbert
Sound like that? Is he like that all the time?
Gilbert's like, well, you know, he passed away a year ago or a year and a half, and he was real soft spoken. But as soon as that camera turned on,
he's a whole different animal.
Yeah,
he was. Rest in peace.
I mean, he goes from normal to just crazy, you know, as soon as that camera comes on. And Bobcat's the same way. A lot of comedians I've noticed are real shy and laid back, and then their characters on stage are just, you know, larger than life. And that's the way theirs are.
Wow, that's so unbelievable. David, can we keep you? I have to take a break, but we have, and I know you guys have been hogging David here, but there's been some like really big questions that the chat's asking too, and we're super intrigued by you, and we want to hear more about you, and we're impressed by that. that and your friends and everything. So are you available to stay on a little bit longer if we took another 5-minute break? And
Yeah, I can probably stay another half hour maybe.
oh, okay, good.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
yeah. No, so that's great. So we're just to everybody out there, we're just gonna take another break, and we will be back with David. And I bet you he's got more cool friends, and I bet you he's got other great stories because I feel like we could. I mean, just scratching the surface here, but yeah. So I'll leave it at that because I could talk to you all day about stuff. So, everybody, we'll be back shortly. So awesome.
Experts about UFOs, ET aliens, paranormal, cryptids, Sasquatch, the unknown, and cool news. UFOs and aliens, paranormal investigations, off-world phenomena, and the unknown. UFOs and aliens, paranormal investigations, off-world phenomena, and the unknown.
Lights in the sky above, questions we can't shove, mysterious stories told, secrets that unfold. Experts share their tales, mysteries in the trails, whispers in the night, aliens in flight. Oh, UFOs aren't real, tell me what you feel. Aliens unseen, paranormal dream. Cryptids in the woods, Sasquatch understood, the unknown so surreal, cool news we reveal. Experts talk and share, mystery everywhere, beyond the skies we gaze, eerie endless maze. Oh, UFOs aren't real, tell me what you feel. Aliens unseen, paranormal dream. Aliens from distant stars, questions we dare to ask, footsteps in forces afar, mysteries in our grasp, UFOs and things unseen, paranormal in the in-between, cryptids lurking in the night, bring the unknown to the light. Tales of Sasquatch roam, legends of eerie moans, footprints that lead us home, signals from cosmic zones, aliens and haunted ground, phenomena all around, lost truths waiting to be found. In silence there's a sound, UFOs and things unseen, paranormal in the in-between.
And we are back as soon as I get this off of here. All right. Wow. Oh, look at him. You got a dog.
that?
Oh.
Hey,
We got
what a cutie.
We like your dog too. Oh, you're so lucky to have an owner like David. I bet you get to see all sorts of tricks, don't you?
Oh, I bet.
Not telling either.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
his
What's your dog's name?
That's Bentley.
Bentley.
Bentley. So Bentley knows all the secrets. He's not
Does Bentley
saying.
talk? I wouldn't be shocked if Bentley did talk. But yeah, like I said, we've had I've started some along the way, and too, if you guys comments, because some of them you did answer, but there's some good ones in here. Okay, there's Polly asked, do you think people with your skills is like a genetic or a kind of ICQ? She says, I don't know if that was going back in the beginning, like. Oh, and then she wants to know if you've used your skills for the government. Have you helped the government at all?
No.
Oh, good.
If I have,
that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, you probably can
He
talk
wouldn't be able to tell you.
yeah.
Oh, you did say you went to Area 51. Did you, when you were there, did you see something or anything? Or
What was that? What was the question?
When you went to Area 51, you said you went to Area 51.
Oh,
like,
I took a trip out to Rachel, Nevada. I went to the little alien restaurant, souvenir shop, and then they told me, which road to take to go out there. So I had passed the road coming to Rachel, so I had to go back to Vegas, and then of course there's the black mailbox right there by the road.
Yeah.
And then you take Groom Lake Road. Is like 13 miles of a bumpy dirt road. So I get out there, and they told me, said, don't go past the orange markers or they can arrest you. I said,
wow,
no problem there. So I got out there. I had my the big camera that I used to have back in the 90s, and this was I think it's my Bentley's bumping the camera. I think it was the big camera I still had in 2000. No, it was 1999. That's when it was, when I went out there, 1999.
oh, wow.
And I got out there, and it had gotten dark. So it was probably 7 o'clock at night when I got out there. So I got my camera out there, and I'm trying to film myself next to the truck and everything. And that's when somebody shined a spotlight on me.
Oh, boy.
And that's when I said, it's time to go. So that must have been the camo dudes up on the hill. I just didn't see them.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about the camo dudes.
Camo dudes, yeah.
They're-
Those unmarked SUVs out there.
Yeah. I took pictures of course, the sun and stuff, and I took pictures of the extraterrestrial highway sign before it got all those stickers all over it, because this was in '99. Nobody had.
Yeah.
But I can't find the pictures of the out at Area 51, and I can't find the videotape that I took. Don't know where that's at.
Oh man, bummer.
The truck next to the.
Yeah, but I know where it's at. In the government archives.
Yeah, the government came.
Right.
Nothing would shock me at this point. I really wouldn't. With how weird they are about stuff, especially in that area. And look at not Stan Womack. What's his name? That he got a black budget project. He happened to get like video of it, and they sent in the NSA into his neighborhood, CIA, all that good stuff. Like they don't mess around when it comes to stuff.
Yeah, I mean, on the there's no photography, and here I am with a movie camera. And,
they're not small back then. It's not like a little camcorder. I mean, you're probably talking about a big.
Yeah, this was my big RCA one, VHS. This was right before the smaller ones started coming out. or in the early '90s, I had a small one, but it was the 8mm, and I still got that thing somewhere, but it doesn't work. I need to send all my 8mm tapes in and get them and see what's on them. I have no clue what's on those things.
I feel like you with those cameras that you can get better footage. Like any of the new digital like things, like my best photography with ghosts and things like that came from old school equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah. 35mm cameras, the Super 8 films. Yeah,
they make them now,
cool.
so they don't. Yeah, like it's just unbelievable. And then you're talking about the ones you actually put the VHS tapes in, right?
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, is the one I had. They just call them 8mm. They're actually little cassettes.
Oh yeah.
They were like the first mini cassettes, and they call them 8mm, but not like the Super 8. Like the movie. Where you're shooting on real film like that. But when I was at Area 51, it was kind of spooky at night because thinking, I could get arrested out here and I started thinking, I'm by myself. If something happens, nobody's gonna know where I'm at.
And there's not. So, did you have a cell phone even back? Like, I don't think, they were.
No, there was no cell phones.
No cell phones then.
Yeah, that was when we had beepers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beepers.
I remember the pagers. Oh my god. And then they got it so they could actually like put, instead of like typing hello, I'm like, kids don't get that these days. I tried to explain to my son. I was like, nope. And we had to run with our quarters. So they went up to 35 cents to a payphone and call somebody back. But it's how it worked back then. So yeah, you got the.
And there's not too many phones anymore.
No, there isn't.
I think there's still a payphone in Snowflake, Arizona, where Travis
Walton.
Oh,
probably.
Yeah. I found one here. I don't know if it worked or not. It had a lot of graffiti on it, but I took a picture of it and I tried asking the gas station owner, but he didn't understand what I was saying. I was like, "You have a phone out there." He's handing me that phone. I was like, "Well, I want to use a pay phone, okay? If that thing works." But I don't think I had any change.
Yeah, most kids wouldn't even know how to use a phone where you got to do a dial. They would be trying to push the numbers or something.
Oh, yeah. My grandma had one of those rotary phones.
Yeah, I saw a YouTube video where they gave the phone to the kid and they said, "All right, make a call." And the kids are trying to push the button instead of doing this. They had no clue.
Isn't it crazy? My son's friend, my mom still has a landline, and he wanted to use a phone, so I handed him the cordless phone. And I'm telling you, it was like I handed him a foreign object. Like, how do I use this? I was like, you guys don't know how to use a phone. I was like, how are you going to
back in our day, to talk to our boyfriends or girlfriends, you had to have an extra long cord to sneak around the hallway, to have any privacy.
I remember before they had double line even. You'd be like, and then my grandma figured out how she could call the operator and have the line interrupted. So it was like you'd be on the phone with, and then it'd be like, your grandmother is trying to get a hold of you, and you disconnect the line. It's like now there's no. I mean, is there anybody other than that real operator anymore? I highly doubt it. It's just crazy how far this has come.
Oh yeah, and yeah, had to make sure nobody picked up the line.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because we used to stick the cordless phone under the Christmas tree, and we could get the neighbors. We had no shame back then. None. That was fair game. Fair game. Yeah, that was like how we really entertained ourselves, like sticking the the cordless phone, and then you could hear all the neighbors what they were saying, and it was like great. Oh, you know what? Maybe we have Sean, who's he's been dying probably to get on here. Is it okay to bring him and add him to the stage? Yeah, I know he's got some questions for you too. And then kind of introduce him. We're like, this is the real party line. Here we go. Okay, Sean, I have to figure out because I'm technologically scared. We can hear you. Can you hear us?
I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah. Am I too loud? Am I burning up, guys?
You're on fire.
Yeah. Am I loud? I just turned the board on, so.
No, you sound great.
Okay.
I'm just trying to. Dave can't see you yet because I am having.
But he can hear me. He's a magician. The spirits are speaking, David.
He probably doesn't even need to see you. He probably can see you already. That's what I'm thinking. But you know what? Let me remove myself here for a second, and then I'm gonna pop you out, and I'll be back on. So let me. Well, apparently I can't.
That didn't work. There you are.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's up, Sean?
What is going on, Sub Nation? You guys sound like you're having a blast.
We are. Yeah, David's excellent guest. He's got a lot to talk about.
I was coming home from work, David, and I had to jump on, man. I know it's the last hour, but you know how it is, blue collar folk. So I was driving, listening on the phone, and I came up with some good questions, and I was sending Tim and Coley the questions, and I was dying. Nobody was asking you. But I got to ask you. I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat real quick, Tim, if you don't mind, sir.
No, go right ahead. David.
But I'm an investigative journalist. That's what I've done for a long time, and I'm curious about the Magic Castle. The amazing Randy, of course, and you got the whistleblower was Amazing Jonathan. He was the original first. Remember the late, great Amazing Jonathan, right?
Yeah, I knew Jonathan. Yeah.
Yeah, good guy. Are you a member of the Magic Castle by any chance?
I am not a member of the Magic Castle.
Okay.
I have only been one time, believe it or not. And that was back in the mid 90s.
Yeah.
I was a guest of Milt Larson that owned the Magic Castle back then.
I hear that's the only way you can get in, huh? You have to be a guest. Limited number. But I have to ask you, because there's been stories and the whistleblower blew the whistle, and it could be made up. Who knows? But there's been rumors for years about the occult surrounding, of course, the Magic Castle. But there is a satanic Luciferian symbol out front of it, which, whatever. But hey, man, L.A., it's crazy. Some of us have seen it, and that's where a lot of stuff happens. So I got to ask you, what's your thoughts on that type of stuff happening around the Magic Castle? It's probably rumor, but have you ever heard anything?
I've never heard of anything myself.
Yeah.
But being LA, I'm sure there's Satanists there in LA.
I found out I thought Satanist, and then I realized Satanists are just people thumbing the nose at any kind of order, because against organized religion, because usually a nun hit them too hard with the ruler when they were younger. So, I figured that out, and then I got hit with this Luciferian deal, and I was like, Luciferian? What the heck's that? And that's when I was out in LA filming, man, and I got a real fast run-in with the group, and there's pretty big names behind the curtain out there. So I didn't know the Magic Castle's got a lot of trap doors, a lot of back rooms, man. So I figured you might have a scoop on it. But
I've never heard anything about that. And I know a lot of members there, but of course there's probably thousands of members in the Magic Castle. Right.
Yeah, there is. I would love to get in there to see a show, man. That place is so old. It's amazing. But, can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, the sound got weird, but hey, Coley, what's going on? But, yeah, I know. And then Tim got knocked out. We're playing musical pictures.
No.
Oh, okay. There he is.
Where is everybody from?
We're on the party line.
This is the real party line. I'm Iowa.
Wait.
Okay.
Indiana.
SoCal here.
Indiana, Iowa, Southern Cal, Alabama. So we're spread out.
Alabama. Oh man.
We home
football.
Out.
Yeah, you got to be hurting after last Saturday's loss. I think you guys lost, didn't you?
No.
You came back. Huh?
We won 63-0.
Oh, that's right. You guys were playing. It was open kickoff season. Yeah, you always play the lower teams. But I'm a big Notre Dame fan, so it's been a rough rough patch for the last 4 or 5 years. But I had Lance on one time, and I was interviewing him. It's been 5 or 6 years ago, and I asked Lance the same question. And he's an old Kentucky boy, and he wouldn't answer. He just said things get kind of freaky out there. So and he's been to the Magic Castle, so I was dying to ask you. So you don't know anything about it. I understand that, but I was just wondering, it'd be a perfect spot, right? Conspiracy theory, tinfoil hat.
I mean, Lance would know before anybody because Lance knows everybody.
Does he? He's a great guy, but he had a lot of info, man, on that stuff. But you magicians are so tight-lipped, man. But that's cool. And I wanted to ask one more question. What do you think about the Masked Magician? Because so many magicians were on fire when that dude came out with his show, and of course he revealed himself and he was giving away secrets. What did you feel like, man? Because I have my own opinion too.
Well, he came out. His name was Val. They call him Val.
Yeah.
He was giving away some stuff that a lot of people were actually using in their shows, and a lot of people were really, really upset. And then he got to the point where he was making up tricks that didn't really exist, that nobody would ever do, and putting those on there. And people kind of calmed down a little bit, but they were still, exposure back then was a no-no. I mean, if you're in the magic circle, you do not
industry secret.
Yeah, because it's a craft that takes years to learn, and and then you got somebody back then, when television viewership was really high in the 90s. So that was not good. I actually owned one of the props later on that Masked Magician used.
Oh, really?
But exposure is really even worse now. There's a lot of people that are doing this stuff on YouTube and
YouTube. It's killing magic.
That's another reason why I kind of do my own thing and invent my own illusions and ideas. And some things I do not put on the internet, because if you put it on the internet, somebody's going to steal it.
Right.
Absolutely.
So you got a GPS coming that you're going to be done with in the next week.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. I'm fascinated.
Oh, the new thing I'm working on?
Not completed yet.
I can't give too much away.
How much can you tell us?
I'm trying to figure out how I could say it without telling what it is, and that might be kind of hard. I don't know how to tell you without giving the thing away. I would say it's
fair enough.
It is completely original, and the audience is in charge of everything that happens. And in the end, it's almost like the audience is putting a puzzle together with my mental thoughts to them. I'll just say that.
Okay. Very intriguing.
Another mind reading type. You got to love that. And I love the way, David, that you're incorporating the supernatural in with magic, because I always thought that was a great basis. I mean, I agree with you, man. People were using it back in the day. Houdini was busting them left and right because he always felt, people, like you said, their loved ones manipulating, but to put that magic and the supernatural together, man, that's mind-bending. That's amazing. So I back you on that one. But I would have to say, I know you've seen the Spirit Cabinet Act. Have you ever done that?
I've seen a few different types. No, I haven't done that. In the new thing that I'm doing on stage in the seance, though, I actually, for a brief second, there's this kind of from the audience when they see something. And it's like a split second, but it's like, it's pretty startling.
Yeah.
And people cannot figure out how in the world it's done. So it's
got to be a good feeling.
It's one of those things that just popped in my head one day, and I thought, I wonder if this will work. And then I tried it out, and I had people, and that was scary.
I don't know, David. My mom got me a magic kit when I was like 8, and I stopped with palming. So I couldn't do it, man. I was doing the fingers and all that, and I said, man, my hands ain't big enough, and they still ain't. They just, it ain't gonna work, man. It just ain't gonna work. It's magic. You either have it or you don't. Yeah. But I did love the kit. I did. I bought the kit, Chris Angel, for I could do it for the kids when they were little, and that was pretty easy. Had the little box. I'd put stuff in it, and it'd disappear. Yeah. Magic.
I remember those.
Yeah. So how did the levitation thing, David? Have you seen Sean? Have you seen his levitation?
Seen.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's.
I seen David on America's Got Talent. Yeah. I did, and it was amazing. Rocked my socks off, brother. Hats off. You are one of the greats, truly. I love you guys. Absolutely. Because we need more magic out there. I'm telling you, because it's a dying art, and it goes back to the vaudeville days. I mean, it was just, you can't beat it. The stand-up routines, the magic acts. I love it. Downstairs, I wish I could take the camera down. I got the amazing Keller and his spirit cabinet mysteries on the wall. Keller, he was out in Ohio. And then, of course, Houdini, the great Houdini. Yeah, so, and like Coley was saying, when I was a kid, I used to go through the aisles of they used to have the old stores. They don't have them so much out here in the Midwest anymore, but they used to have the old magic stores. And you'd go in and they'd have Houdini with the dark eyes staring, and I would just get lost in those posters, man. I loved it.
Yeah, I actually performed at the Keller's Comedy Club in Erie, Pennsylvania, a couple of Halloween ago, and I got to meet his relative that has a lot of his old stuff. And, I think Copperfield was trying to buy a lot of it, and he didn't want to sell it. I think he might have sold him a few pieces, but he's kept a lot of that stuff.
I think I've seen him on Sci-Fi. Copperfield, he had the water tank, I think, which is amazing. That was amazing.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah, Copperfield, he has a huge museum out in Vegas, and it's kind of hard to get an invite to go through there.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine, I don't know if you ever saw the old movie Magic with Anthony Hopkins.
Yes, with the dummy.
And the dummy was named Fats. So my friend Chance Wolf made a reproduction for David Copperfield of the dummy Fats. And he said Copperfield was just like a little kid with that thing because it was so realistic.
With that big head.
Yeah. And I almost went to work with Copperfield back in, I think it was 93. His illusion tech was real interested in this, the stuff I was doing, and he asked if I'd be interested in being one of the illusion techs.
Oh, wow.
And for a while I was interested, and then I found out I was going to have to sign one of these non-competes that's a pretty long non-compete.
Oh, no.
Then I decided I wanted to do my own thing and just kind of never pursued it anymore. And I've met Copperfield a few times. Nice guy. He took my mom to see him before she passed. Actually, she got to see him about 10 years ago, and we were in Vegas, and he came out when the theater cleared out and met my mom. And
that's awesome.
And so that was a lot of fun for her.
Oh, yeah. Where do you meet all these cool friends, David? I mean,
right.
You're
where do I get these friends?
Yeah.
I mean, when I was living in California, you would meet these people all the time. So usually in the restaurant.
I've been to the Red Room.
Yeah, right.
That's the most awkward.
In the restroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't palm anything in the bathroom, Dave. Oh man. Yeah, it was God, it was I know the only magicians I know personally was the Mastersons. Did you ever hear of them? Reed and Ashton? They come from Kentucky, and they started getting some big shots out in LA, and now Reed's on his own, but I mean, they're great, man. They are great. And they're working up to where you have been. And, Yeah, I just can't say enough about you guys out there, the magicians. I see my first one. I think I was 12, and it was in Tennessee. But the only bad thing is the guy came out and he told everybody there is nothing supernatural about my act. And for me as a kid, it ruined it. It ruined it.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, then that makes me wonder if there is
The mystery
like,
going, right?
Yeah.
I need
And
to confirm nor deny it.
That's right. That's right. Keep the mystery, man. It's magic.
Yeah, but one of the best is Lance. Lance is he was one of the first shows I got to see. I used to see Copperfield touring in the early 90s, and then in 93 I went out to Las Vegas for the first time and got to meet Lance and go backstage, and he's just super guy.
Yeah.
And I met Siegfried of Siegfried and Roy. I never met Roy, but Siegfried was super nice to me. I took a girlfriend out to Vegas to the show, and Siegfried put us in the best seats in the house and brought us backstage after the show and gave her a stuffed white tiger and all that.
Yeah.
Kind of rolled out the carpet for us. That was fun. And I was friends with Terry Fader, the ventriloquist out there. Super nice guy. He won America's Got Talent one year.
I remember that guy.
Yeah.
He's the ventriloquist. Yeah, Terry's really good.
I feel like you need to be on a stage somewhere. Why aren't you out in Vegas anymore? I mean, you really have over the top stuff.
I mean, my ultimate thing I would like to do is maybe have my own show, not necessarily in Las Vegas, because that's where everybody is. Yeah. I've even thought about, I would love to have my own paranormal show in a place like Savannah, Georgia, or
Iowa. Iowa's a good place.
Or
there's a certain bias there.
Maybe a little Iowa.
Yeah.
It's heaven. It's heaven, man.
Like
it's not Iowa.
Heaven.
You can disappear in the cornfields, and I mean, I tell you, we'll find you for days.
Maybe St. Augustine, Florida, someplace like that where it's. I always wanted to do Savannah because of the ghost tours they have. It's probably more ghost tours in Savannah than any place in the country.
Beautiful too, man. God, could you imagine the taxes there though? Wow.
Iowa's much cheaper. Much cheaper.
And Indiana, yeah, you come out here to the Hoosier State, brother.
But
no, Sean has a ghost experience too. That kind of I don't know if did you hear David talk about the orb he saw?
I did, and he referenced Lou. What's that?
He was talking about his was it your uncle that sat on the bed next to you?
Well, I mean, I don't know who or what it was. All I know is that bed went down, and I could feel something against my leg, and then I could feel when the pressure came back off, and then you know how those old beds would sink down.
Oh yeah, man.
Right back up, and it was terrifying. And that's that's the only time I've really been scared.
Hear the most spring squeak? Yeah.
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 Absolutely.
I would be excited. I'm like, yes, more. Like that's paranormal. Like, yeah, I don't know.
I was not excited whatsoever when it happened.
Right.
The UFO thing, that was exciting. The other was terrifying. So it's like I've had only 2 experiences in my whole life, and the one of each. So I guess I'm kind of lucky. Some people, never experience anything, and they want to.
Yeah.
I kind of think that you produce some of it from your mind. You may not have to experience it for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how
I mean, I wasn't expecting like the thing on the bed. That's the farthest thing from my mind. I never thought about ghosts and things. And then the UFO thing, when I walked out, looked up in the sky, I was just like thinking, oh, this is a nice evening, not a cloud in the sky. You can see all the stars. And then all of a sudden you see a big, bright amber light,
Yeah.
And you're just not expecting it. And then when that thing ducked behind that hill, when my friend walked out, it was just like, wow,
Yeah.
these things are real, whatever they
Yeah.
are.
They are real. I heard you guys touching base on the demonic, angelic, and how the people are trying to tie it in, UFOs and aliens, and then we go back to the good book, right? Everybody's trying to bring that in, and there might be something to that, And then Coley said something, and Tim, I think, about the interdimensional travel. So that takes it out of the sky, which takes our eyes out of the sky and puts it back here on Earth. So, I kind of think, is it something? Is it magic? Is it like a sleight of hand? Look here, look here, look here. Why something's going on over here? Because we know that the government does that constantly, or whoever runs this world. But I don't know. Keep your eyes out of the sky. Now let's put it back here around us, and we can just say interdimensional. But there's a lot of factual stuff about these beings just appearing in people's bedrooms and stuff like that. So interdimensional would kind of make sense. So it's just one of those things. I think you got to be careful, right? Because we could pull out the good book and say, well, if it's demons, let's just not deal with it at all because it's evil. Just like talking to the dead. The Bible says, I think you were talking, David, about that earlier. The Bible says it's an abomination to communicate with the dead. Well, if that's the fact, I'm going straight to hell because I do the ghost box. And, I don't want to make God or the creator or the whatever real mad. I'm curious. And if something did make me alien or a god or some kind of deity or, just happenstance, then I'm curious. So that's what I do.
I mean, I would love to talk to Tucker Carlson.
Oh, man.
Because he's been talking with these people, and it sounds like he's convinced from who he's talking to that these are demonic.
Yeah.
He said, there was an interview, he said that he heard things so troubling that he was afraid to even tell his wife.
I saw that. Yeah, I did.
And then he said these things are supernatural, that they're not coming from far away. He said they've always been here.
Right.
And they're coming from the water, from maybe other dimensions. So I don't think he's told everything on air, and I don't know who he's been talking to, but it sounds like a lot of whistleblowers have come to him directly because he says, he'll go out and meet with these people, have dinner with them, and they discuss stuff. So
yeah.
Can I just throw in one thing real quick?
The no. So,
fundamentalist Christians have a tendency to fear what they don't understand.
Oh, yeah.
And this goes all the way to the top of our government. Oh, shoot, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to know.
I think I lost my audio. Sorry, guys.
Oh, no, we can hear you. Yeah, you're good.
You're
good.
Good.
Okay, sorry.
You're 100% right, too, Tim. I mean, my God. That's what I was saying. Is it, you're never going to trust the government. And right now, I see the whistleblowers are coming forward. Now they got us fighting each other. I mean, it's a perfect plan. I come out, say, hey, guys, the sky's falling, and I got this insider information. Then 17,000 other people say, this guy's a liar. Then another 52,000 people say, no, he's not. He's credible. And so then we keep fighting each other instead of the real people behind the curtain, which we're still looking for. But, somebody's got the answers, and we kind of know where it's at, right? So I guess you just keep asking the questions, but I think we got to be careful, man, because like Tim was saying, if you're scared to death and you hide behind the Bible in fear, you're never going to learn that. This is dangerous business, man. It's kind of like magic being on stage, just a little bit more dangerous. You don't want to flop on stage. Yeah. But doing that,
you can't fear the paranormal. You're coming home with something. Did you hear a story about Annabelle? How the book and his finger was bleeding on the page,
yeah.
And I was telling the box that you had that. Tell David that story. That's insane.
Yeah, you got a sect. You want to hear my story, David?
Sure.
I was interviewing Jason Haxton before Zach Baggins and his adventures bought the box and moved it out to his museum in Vegas. It's called the Dybbuk box. The Dybbuk box, DYBBUK. Yeah. And Yeah, you can research it and look online, man. It came from an antique store, and there's all these great stories. Then people started saying it was phony and everything else. Regardless, the professor that owned it last, who I trust, wrote the book, The Dybbuk Box. And after the attack, he brought it to my studio. We were in the studio, and my co-host, we were doing a show like right here, and he started typing me, "Hey, man, I got to go. My face is burning in my back." And I said, "Okay, all right, we'll wrap it up." And we were having audio trouble all night, which wasn't a big deal. So anyway, I let him go, and I said, "Jason, thanks for coming on. We'll rebook you, and no problem." But Nathan my co-host, Nathan, started sending me pictures, and there was bruises all over his back, and the side of his face was swollen and red. And this had happened like that, David.
Wow.
And it was, I was like, okay, cool. I thought allergic reaction or something. I didn't know what happened. So I said, well, just put those pictures online and don't tell them, because we don't know what happened from it, but let their imagination run, right? I'm running a show here. So we didn't know where it came from. Just put it up and let the crowd guess. And, but I got to tell you, after I hung up with Jason, about 30 minutes later, I went upstairs. I started hearing knocking on the walls in the studio. And then when I'd go down to the studio, I'd hear them upstairs. And then lightning struck my car right after that. Struck my car, David. Came up through the window, came up through the tire, which is rubber.
Wow.
So it's not really a good conductor. Huh?
I saw the pictures. Yeah.
Not a good insulator. Wow, that's amazing.
And at the same time, Tim and Coley and Dave, it burnt only the driver's side seat in my car, blew all the wiring out, and blew the cup holder and the armrest in the back seat and charred the underside of it. Everything else was fine. Just my seat and where I would put my arm. Allstate didn't believe it. I can't say that. The insurance company didn't believe it. I mean, Aflac. Yeah. No, but you guys were talking about the Duck Man, right? Aflac. But Godfrey, yeah. But anyway, I survived that, and then I started smelling gas. I came back in, sat in the chair after I checked the car, started smelling gas, called the gas company. He said, "Get out now." So we had some toxic levels of gas in the house. I don't know how the pilot light from the furnace didn't blow us all to heck. Yeah, that's amazing. But we got out, spent the night in the hotel. The next day I came back, they had dug from the middle of the street to the house. And guess where the only room in the house that was getting pumped full of gas was? The podcast studio.
No, the podcast.
The podcast studio where the box was. And they had dug a trench from the middle of the street, the main, to the side of the house. And the guy said, it's so weird. The way that broke, the gas main, it should have went into everybody's house. We had to clear the whole street. But he said, nobody's house had gas but yours. And I thought, well, and then about a week later, I started counting it up. And I thought, what's the odds? You know what I mean? So, and Jason, of course, had a lot of the same stuff happen. And the guy that owned it before him. So I just started putting it together. And I said, okay, we're not going to mess with that no more. So, but I ended up messing with it. Remember the old Monsters in America? They called me like 6 months after that and said, we want to do a shot. And we heard you dealt with this thing. So I went to the owner's home and I had to see it. I had to come face to face with this thing. It's like a shark attack victim, right? Because it actually shook me up because it hit me on my home turf. And man, in 22 years, that was the first time of something hit me at home. I mean, I've had things move and slide off walls. Sometimes you get some residual stuff after you leave an active spot. But this thing was the real McCoy. So like a shark survivor or a surfer that gets hit by a shark, they got to get right back in the water. So as a paranormal investigator, I had to get right back on the trail of this thing. So I crawled on my belly through this tunnel where this man kept it. And it was in the case. It was buried in 4 inches of dirt. It had prayer ribbons around it where the rabbi had put it. And he said he would never get rid of it. I said, okay. He said, I'm like the Lincoln Guard. The guys that guard Lincoln's tomb. Yeah. They're still around today. He said, I'll never get rid of it, and my family will take care of it forever. About 4 years later, it's sitting in Zach Bagans Museum. So money talks, I guess, and that's my story.
You got to get back up on that horse and ride. So
that's it. Wow. That's it. But I got to see it. I smelt the the flowery urine smell he was talking about coming off of it, and you could feel it, man. You guys know when you're around something, you can feel, you know. So it was real, it was accurate, but yeah, I overcame that and went right back at it. So
Yeah, so I think Annabelle. I said I think she likes David a little.
Yeah.
That's
I got to
something.
get.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Coley.
No, I'm just like I think stories like this are just absolutely like amazing. I'm just amazed by them, and I've seen like, you know.
Yeah, I heard David talking about that. Dave, I just got to tell you, I never met Tony. I know he's got the traveling museum and all the stuff now, but I knew Lorraine when she was alive. I never met Ed, and I went to her house. I went to her house twice, and we had dinner there once. And the night we had dinner, she took me down and I got to see Annabelle, but I never got to hold her or take her out or anything like that. But I walked around. I didn't know Annabelle was a huge thing back then. That was before the Conjuring films. I just knew she was a Raggedy Ann doll in a wooden box. And I mean, I seen the don't touch and all that on it. And Lorraine told me about it, but we were talking. She was just letting me walk around. But that was cool. That was very cool. And you get a vibe because they got the dark, dim lights, you know, on it. And she's in that box and it's got that sign that says, do not touch. They might as well put a tack dog on it, you know, beware. But yeah, she was cool, man. She was cool.
Yeah. I never got to meet Lorraine. She passed away before I could get up there.
Yeah.
First time. But it was, when did she pass away? Was it around 2018 maybe?
Oh God. What's it been? At least 4 years now, right? 4 or 5 years.
Well, I know I was up there in 2020. I think she had already passed away. It might have been 2018, 2019 when she passed away. But yeah, she had a little cameo in the first Conjuring.
April 18th, 2019.
2019. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was good. Yeah, I did. I love that first Conjuring. She was in it, and yeah, that was good.
Oh, yeah.
Great film.
Yeah. Captures that old, James Wan really gets that old Amityville ghost story when we were kids from the 70s, you know? Oh, man. He knows how to tell ghost
stuff.
Yeah.
How close to the truth was the Conjuring with like the girls and stuff and Lorraine, and because they used to travel all around. They did some amazing work.
Supposed to did a Paranormal, a couple of those, the Perrin family, but they got canceled, I think, because of COVID. So I never got to meet them. I would love to ask questions, but I'm sure they Hollywooded the movie up, you know, a lot more than what happened. You know, that's what happens with everything. You know, they don't want to. It's just like the Bob, you know, like the Travis Walton story. You know, they changed a lot of that. You know,
changed it completely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like there was even one more logger in the truck. There was like 7 people in that truck instead of 6, like in the movie.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they like to change stuff so much, and you know, I would rather it be as accurate as possible. But
well, like you said,
yeah, I think they do it intentionally. I really do.
I guess they figure, well, the real story might not be as exciting.
Yeah, it's about the sensationalism and getting the numbers up. You know, they want to drum it up.
But like the
absolutely
Travis Walton thing, I think his story is very interesting. Exactly how he tells it, you know. And
absolutely.
I mean, they didn't have to make it look like this nasty spacecraft, because he said it was not like that at all. He said it was very clean.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like a polar opposite, you know. And I just don't get it. But
well, when I had the author, she wrote, God, I forget her name, but she's one of the parents. She's the one that wrote House of Light, House of Darkness, about the Conjuring house. She came on and she said the movie underplayed it, that there was other things that happened in that house that she would never tell anybody. And Angela Perrin, Angie Perrin, whatever. But yeah, she was awesome. And she told me one thing. She said the girls would go in groups at night to the bathroom, And the hair thing was real when she got drugged down the hallway, but it was upstairs at the bathroom. Something grabbed her by the hair and drug her sister down the hallway, and they were grabbing her or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, she said they underplayed it when I asked her, but who knows, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Maybe they'll reshoot it one day and get it accurate.
Yeah, use her book. But when you sign on that dotted line, just like you said, David, you didn't want to do that with Copperfield. Do not compete. It's the same way. You sign your life away when you sign on for a project, and they turn everything. And if you don't do what they say, they take legal action. So, I mean, what are you supposed to do, man? You know?
It's just like America's Got Talent. I remember signing, I think it was 30 pages I had to get through. It's ridiculous of what they make you sign.
So they already know who's going to win before the competition.
They can edit it.
Begins.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
That's so. Yeah, that is. Man, I thought America's Got Talent. I didn't know that was scripted, but I guess when it comes down to it. But I honestly, like, I've talked to people too, like, that know Travis really well. I've talked to Travis myself, but they, in their stories, like Tom Reed, he said, the famous Tom Reed, it didn't even happen in the same place like they told them. So it's like I said, why do you think they're doing that? Like, is it to mix the details? Is it because he said that's not like what he told? It's not how he told it. It's how they wrote it. So I don't know if he's telling the truth or who's telling the truth. But it's just it blows my mind. Like, why not tell the truth? I want to know what Annabelle, if she's making a comeback. I mean, there's your show right there, David.
Right.
Yeah.
That doll is just something else.
Well, I'm hoping to get this script that I'm got in my mind complete and maybe get some people interested in it, because I want to bring a horror type paranormal movie, to the independent world, and make it really good, because I see some crap movies that come out there.
Yeah. No budget. Yeah.
Well, David he builds everything, so he's pretty talented here.
Yeah.
A one man
props.
Yeah. Not even up your alley. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And I even did some Halloween haunt attractions. I used to have a thing I invented called the Conjuring Room, where people would actually come into a room. It's not like most Halloween haunts, you go walking through mazes and everything. This was actually a room where you would go in and you would be seated in a corral and locked in there. And it was kind of a psychological thing that happened. Things would happen above you, below you, behind you.
Ooh, that's creepy.
Oh, where was that at? You had it at your house?
No. I did this one at.
I'm just saying. Can we come visit? Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see that.
This was Lost Furnace in Birmingham, Alabama. I did it a couple of years, and because everybody said that was like the coolest thing they'd ever seen, because you can only get 18 people at a time for the experience, and it was about an 8-minute experience, and there was a lot of darkness, and there was sometimes light, and I would suggest things into your mind. There was kind of a demon that talked through the whole show, and all these things would happen around you, and
so it's messing with your senses.
Any fear you had, you would experience it in that 8 minutes. So there would be something that people were afraid of that would happen in that 8 minutes. And I even had the Alabama and basketball team come in. I had the quarterback for Alabama when they won the national championship one year. Him and his girlfriend came in with some other players, and I wish I could have got that on night vision, because he was like a scared little girl.
Send that to LSU, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What do you do with it once it's? I mean, where is it now?
Oh, I mean, it's disassembled. I had them build the structure, the house that it happened in, and then I built all the props that went inside of it, and I did the soundtrack and surround sound, and
He does music.
it was
Yeah.
very cool. It's unlike anything you've ever seen at a Halloween haunt. But then again, see, my mind works so much different than the normal person.
Well, where do you get your brilliant mind from? What sparked this? Like,
I don't know. This stuff just pops in my head, and I've just always been a creative, I guess, like I can play music, I can compose stuff. You'll have to use one of my music pieces on your show sometime.
We would.
Yeah, you go on YouTube. It's called David Merlin, The Dark Side of the Sun.
Ooh.
Oh, cool. I'll have to look that up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we're on it.
Yeah, me and a buddy of mine did that one. And also the character I did, the Psycho Jack, I did another thing. It's called Psycho Jack. It's Psychopath. And I did it in the Psycho Jack voice. It's kind of like AC/DC.
I saw that one. I watched that. That was good. And you're like blazing on that guitar too.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah, I saw it, yeah.
Yeah.
I have one question then, David. One question. Are you human? Are you human?
Human half-breed?
I know, you're an awful, like, I mean, you've got a broad spectrum of talents here. I have to ask. I've come across some pretty amazing people, but are you human even? Are you human?
Or am I extraterrestrial? Am I planted here by the government?
Are you a plant?
Yeah. Oh,
I heard Coley thought you were talking about weed. I almost ran off the road.
Yeah.
Killing me, Coley.
I'm like, what kind of show is this?
Dave's like, no, a plant in the audience.
Yeah.
At first I thought like one of the moving plants, like across the yard.
Yeah,
the
ones that do that.
They're like, no, I think he's talking about
Or the
like
dancing plants,
marijuana or something.
I don't know about plants, but I thought Coley's on something, mushrooms or something. My goodness.
That was gonna be my next question. Yeah. Well, I mean, plants. Like, I don't know. Yeah, but that was funny. And he's like, no, a plant. I'm like, okay, I get it. No, I get it. Sometimes it's a little thing. See, I'm human. David, are you human? I just.
I'm definitely human with many flaws.
Yeah. Hey, David, I got to ask. Thanks, guys, for letting me jump on tonight, by the way. And all your followers, all your listeners, you guys are awesome. All of you. But I got to say, the Sub Nation, I'm so excited about it. You guys came out with the name, and wow, it's amazing. And everything's going so good. You guys kicked it off with David tonight and everything. And Dave, Sean, you got it. Huh? Yeah.
Sean will be on Sunday, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I think
but
so
David.
Too.
Yeah. And David, I got to ask, you got anything coming up, brother, or anywhere people can follow you or anything to promote coming up?
Do we have any people watching from New York? Because I'll be in Bingham. I can't pronounce it. Is it Bingham, New York?
Birmingham? Maybe, yeah. Birmingham's in your side, yeah.
Bingham, New York. Yeah, I'll be up there. I want to say it's like the October 12th. I can't remember the exact date off the top of my head. It's on a Saturday. I'm going to be doing 2 shows, afternoon and an evening show. I'm going to do the seance live on stage. I'm actually doing something local from where I'm at. I'm going to be doing an evening of magic at the museum here in Sylacauga, Alabama, 23rd, 24th of October. And I'm kind of looking to put together a tour, a paranormal show tour. So any groups out there that, sponsor me to come into their town, whether it be in a theater, in a small civic center, any kind of facility, really. I'm pretty versatile in where I can do this. I have about 3 different shows, like scale-wise, big, small, and medium. So I can go pretty much anywhere. And it's a psychological experience. So
slide us some backstage passes. We'll hold the ropes for you, man. Come on.
I'd love to see you live.
Me
It's so
too.
fun.
You
And
won't get rid of us.
now, of course, everybody can go on my website. The website's davidmerlin.com. And
I just dropped your link in the chat room. So
Yeah.
we'll add it to
I've
the
had it
show
going
notes as well.
too. Yeah.
yeah, and then there's my OnlyFans.
Oh, really?
What's that? Magic Man
That's
69.
what Coley wants to see.
I was going to say
Oh.
the first person to crack up would be.
Yeah. Hey man, entertainers got to make money somehow. You know, it's Hollywood's not always biting.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm a fan, but I don't think I'm the only fan, David. I think you got a lot of fans.
Oh man.
I took several years off from doing my show because my mom, she had got really, unhealthy there, and she passed away about a year and a half ago. So I took a few years off to look after my mom, and I've also got an autistic niece that I'm real close with, so I do a lot of stuff with her. And so now I'm getting back to where I can travel again. There was a period of time that I just couldn't. I could go do shows periodically, but it was hard for me to schedule any kind of a tour. So now I'm like able to do anything and everything. So
Yeah,
That's
please,
awesome.
by all means, keep
Yes.
us up, and I'll post your stuff. I mean, I'm a groupie. I'm a proud groupie. Okay.
Me too. I'll part of that club
Well,
as
we'll
well.
get you out there, get your stuff out there, and hopefully get you through here. I mean, if you ever come near Iowa, please do not forget about me. I would be like devastated.
which part of Iowa are you in?
I'm right Dubuque, which is right on like the Wisconsin Illinois border, but I'm not like I'm really bad with directions. I need that GPS thing. But yeah, I'm just remember Dubuque, the tri-state area. I think I don't know. I forget.
Which city is it?
Dubuque. So I'm probably like maybe a couple hours outside Chicago and that area, or like Cedar Rapids. Close by.
Des Moines.
Des Moines not that far. It's maybe like 3.5 hours away.
Okay.
I'd make it, yeah. I plan on calling, yeah.
Let's all meet up in Chicago.
Chicago's great.
It's my hometown.
First round.
I got friends there.
Yeah.
Sean's close to Indiana. It makes fun.
Yeah, we did that. I told you about the disc jockey Mancow from Chicago.
Right.
We met Mancow at Comic Relief out in Hollywood, but the weird thing is the theater we did the show in was across the state line in Indiana. I think it was Maryville, Indiana.
Yeah, Maryville, historic Maryville.
Yeah. It's a big, huge theater across the state line, and I guess he could rent the theater cheaper than in Chicago. And he sold that thing out 2 nights in a row, 6,000 tickets in 2 hours.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And you're right there by Chicago anyway, Northwest Indiana, right? So yeah. I would, that's a smart move because you guys would have sold that out fast, and everybody comes from Chicago anyway. So
exactly.
Yeah.
That was my only trip to Chicago when we did that, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Chicago fan, but Tim, I'm sorry. It just
well, it's kind of like New York. I'm not a huge New York fan because of traffic, and which I love California, which the traffic can be bad, but it's a whole lot easier to maneuver in California than New York City. I mean, it's crazy.
And they understand it. Like I'd call in for work. I'd take the 101 to work, and I'd be like, "There's traffic. I'm gonna be 40 minutes late. I'm only live 7 miles away, but it took me like about an hour. But there's palm trees and fun things to look at. So I didn't mind it as much as I do here. But, yeah. Anyway,
you lived in LA?
Yes. Yeah, I lived in Burbank and I worked down in Hollywood. So I'm really familiar with the Sunset Strip and that whole to-do-da. But I didn't I came across some, but not like you have, David. You've got me blown out of the water. Nothing. I don't think. I'm just impressed. But thank you for staying on with us.
We appreciate
I know we've even kept you overtime. I would keep you on here all night if I could. But
I'm glad we got connected because I thought for a minute I'm not going to be able to get on StreamYard.
Yeah, that was a little concerning at first right there, but I'm glad we got it worked out.
And you levitate and do all these things. Like, I'm just, man, I just scratching the surface. But yeah, please stay in contact. And I really appreciate you coming on. And yeah, you guys can make fun of me all day. I'm a groupie. I'm a groupie. And if I can get like an autograph picture or something, I'll send postage back, and we'll check it all out. So, but yeah. And so on that note, Sean, do you want to take us out?
Yeah, just send me that OnlyFans link, David. And I tell you, it's been such an honor, brother. May magic live forever. I hope there's a rebirth of it because God, our world needs it now more than ever. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you, David.
Yes, thank you so
really
much.
Appreciate your time.
We do.
Most welcome.
And we'll be in touch.
Experts about UFOs, ET aliens, paranormal cryptids, Sasquatch, the unknown, cool news. UFOs and aliens, paranormal investigations, off-world phenomena, and the unknown. UFOs and aliens, paranormal investigations, off-world phenomena, and the unknown.
Lights in the sky above, questions we can't shove, mysterious stories told, secrets that unfold. Experts share their tales, mysteries in the trails, whispers in the night, aliens in flight. Oh, UFOs are real, tell me what you feel. Aliens unseen, paranormal dream. Cryptids in the woods, Sasquatch understood, the unknown so surreal, cool news we reveal. Experts talk and share, mystery everywhere, beyond the skies we gaze, eerie endless maze. Oh, UFOs are real, tell me what you feel. Aliens unseen, paranormal dream. Evidence from distant stars, questions we dare to ask, footsteps and forces afar, mysteries in our grasp. UFOs Tales of Sasquatch roam, legends of eerie moans, footprints that lead us home, signals from cosmic zones, aliens and haunted ground, phenomena all around, lost truths waiting to be found. In silence, there's a sound. UFOs and beings unseen, paranormal in the in-between. Cryptids lurking in the night, bring the unknown to the light. UFOs and beings unseen, paranormal in the in-between. Cryptids lurking in the night, bring the unknown to the light.